From ScreenJunkies Studios, it's time to tune in to TV Fights. And now your host, Roxy Scryer.
What's up, Screen Junkies? Welcome to TV Fights Bachelor Edition. If you're sitting there and you're thinking, uh-oh, I don't watch The Bachelor, trust me, you're going to want to watch this fight anyway. If you're sitting there thinking, oh my god, I love The Bachelor, then you absolutely are going to watch this fight too, because we have incredible questions about The Bachelor, Bachelorette, all different things, Bachelor moment that's the best of all time, what reality show should cross over with The Bachelor, and which TV character should be the next Bachelor, plus a whole lot more. But before we get to that, first I have to introduce our fighters. I have a feeling you guys are going to recognize some of them. Starting to my left, guys, he's from Bachelorette Season 9, it's Brooks Forrester!
Yeah, whoa, Season 9!
Yeah.
Hello!
How you feeling today?
Sounds like a long time ago. Season 9.
It does.
It
sounds like a while.
You're a spring chicken.
The good thing is,
Seasons ago?
to some of the people watching, they think that that's this current season. So they don't know.
Perfect,
Season 9
perfect,
could
yeah.
be
It
right
just
now.
Happened last year.
Yeah.
It seems so long ago.
Does it feel like a long time ago that you were on?
Yeah.
It really
yeah,
does?
It does, yeah.
Because you feel like just life, so much has
I have
happened
like
since
3
then?
kids now, and like, you know, that's
Wow, that's a lot
has
different.
happened, yeah.
Wait, do you have 3 kids now?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, wow, that's
There wasn't a hint of sarcasm.
That he knows about.
a lot of the people know you, but a lot of the people are getting to know you. You can't just drop the sarcasm
I
like
know
I know,
that.
I was
Breaking their
hoping-
hearts left and right.
I was hoping
Yeah.
for like a headline. You know, I'm trying to get one of those.
Yeah.
Brooks Forrester has 3 children.
Yeah.
Do you still watch the show today?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So you're up to date. You're ready to
I'm
go.
very qualified for this fight.
I have a feeling there are some other qualified people at this table too, though, guys. Next to him, he's from Bachelorette Season 11, so a little more recent. It's Jared Haven.
Oh, get her out of here. Get her out of here.
Oh, are you a villain? Why is everybody
I
booing
don't
for
think
you?
I'm a villain to the Iconettis. I can tell you that much. Yes.
Oh, all right. So you're a Screen Junkies fan. You've been on Screen Junkies News before. You've been all over the place here.
I'm a huge Screen Junkies fan. Been for years. So I want to let everybody know, if you have a dream of being on Screen Junkies, that it's possible, because I'm here and it's amazing. And honestly, I've waited for this moment for ever since the first time I watched Honest Trailers. So this is awesome. Privileged to be here. Hoping to kick some ass.
I like that beforehand you were also giving some advice to them about fighting. Like, you have seen these fight shows. Did you kind of slide some things in there, though, to make them screw up? Like, are you going to come out on top today?
No. I want everybody to do well. I want this to be fun. I want it to be interactive.
A fair fight.
There's a lot of great fighters here, let me tell you that. So I'm super excited for this.
That's awesome. Thank you for saying that. We have a first on this show for TV fights. We have never had a duo fight over here.
Yep.
What better to do it than the sisters sitting across the table? The first one from Bachelor Season 9, it's Ashley Iconetti.
Bachelor Season 19.
Oh, sorry, 19. 19.
Yeah. Well, Lauren and I share the same brain, so it's fair.
We also shared the same rose when Jared offered us a rose in paradise.
Yes, to keep them both around.
Yes.
Right.
So
from Bachelor in
You guys
Paradise,
owe me one,
Lauren.
so-
So we're calling this
Bye.
TMI. It's TMI or Team Iconetti, or we don't...
TMI.
TMI. Because you guys bring too much information?
Yep.
Too much information,
And
too much
many
Iconettis.
Iconettis.
Too much Iconetti. I love it.
Iconettis.
Lauren, are you the only non-previous Bachelor
Yeah.
contestant
Yeah.
to ever be on Bachelor in Paradise?
Yeah. I'm like,
How did that happen for the fans out there really quick?
phenomenal.
Like, how did you get to be
Historic,
on
I would
Bachelor
say.
in
That's
Paradise
historic.
then?
I just met the executive producer at Caitlin Bristow's date in New York City, and they were like, "You're so funny. You have to come and be like on The Bachelor." And I was like, "I will never do The Bachelor, but I will do Bachelor in Paradise." And they're like, "We'll make it happen." And they made it happen, and it went just great.
I gave Ashley too much credit in my head. I was like, she must have been very persuasive.
Influential.
It was all
No,
Lauren.
I was
She's like, I had nothing
It was all Lauren.
It did not take much effort.
Speaking of people that make it happen, the man who has made all of this happen right here on the couch as our fact checker extraordinaire today, Andy Signor.
I'm so excited about it. Yeah! This is so fun. Jared says this is a dream, but this is a dream for me because I'm an admitted Bachelor fan since the beginning, but I had to make sure Billy Business is still here to help because I thought it'd be very funny for someone who has no idea about The Bachelor
Yeah.
to chime in once in a while.
Billy, have you ever seen an episode?
I haven't, but I do have a bachelor's degree, so I feel like I'm doing okay here.
Oh, yes, that definitely qualifies
Because he
you.
can truly help us based on the arguments because he won't
I've got
know.
nothing else to
Yeah.
go.
But I want
Right.
to also give you guys props because a lot of people I know you don't watch The Bachelor. You should. It's a lot more fun than you think. But we also have some fun questions that are not as Bachelor focused. But we
Yeah.
are going to do some Bachelor focused So stay tuned. You're in for a treat.
We absolutely do.
And I will
Andy,
help fact check because I know my Bachelor.
Yeah, you definitely do, and I'm going to need that help. And you might have a surprise rose over there that might be coming into place at some point, too. We'll see what happens with that. And my last Andy shout-out, congratulations on 50,000 followers. I just saw that you
yeah,
on Twitter.
nice.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Andy
really,
Signor.
really great.
Let's make it 51,000.
And then let's make it 100.
Sure, that's better.
Easy to go. Yeah, 51. What are you fighting for? Come on, reach for the
I have the
stars.
rose. I'm very happy right now.
That's true.
This is
That's
very important to get. You all know you need the rose to survive.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. There are roses here, guys. When you win a point, I will ask you if you will accept my rose, if you will accept this rose. And hopefully you guys will say yes or I'll go home heartbroken. And now, without further ado, let's fight.
Let's win.
Bite.
I was unaware that you guys are one guy.
Yeah.
You're an
So we are against Team 3. Okay.
Yes, that's a good clarification point. So there are 3 separate teams at this table. It's TMI. Every guy for himself. Everybody make sense?
Fair,
All right,
yeah.
guys, let's get into this with round 1.
Let's do it! Sorry, that's how I get pumped. I pump myself up that way.
We like it. We like it.
Yeah? You up!
All right, guys, here's the question. What is the most shocking Bachelor/Bachelorette moment in the show's history? We're starting with Brooks, and then we're making our way around the table.
Most shocking moment is definitely when Nick slept with Caitlyn. Who wasn't watching the television going like, wait, what? That just happened? What's she going to talk about next? Is she going to keep anybody? Is it going to be Nick? And if it's not, then what's going to happen? Disaster.
Okay, Jerry.
The most shocking moment in the history of the Bachelor and the Bachelor franchise is this and none other. It is the moment that Jason Mesnick changed his fiancée from the girl that he picked on the show to the girl that he left with after the final rose. This was shocking to everybody. He did this whole process, went to the final rose, picked a girl that he was falling in love with, that he wanted to marry, wanted to spend the rest of his life with. 2 months later, they record the live after the final rose. He comes out with Chris Harrison and says he changed his mind and that he no longer wanted to date the woman that he picked. But he brought her out, dumped her, and then went for the girl that he picked second and asked for a redemption, asked for a second chance, and she gave it to him, and now they're married with kids. That is the most shocking moment on the history of this show.
Is there a time limit, Jared?
You got a minute.
Oh, there is. Damn it, I gotta know the rules.
TMI.
All right, Lauren.
Well, the most shocking moment for Ashley and I is when Brad Womack didn't pick anyone. We all got invested the entire season, and at the end, he just picked no one. We all wasted our time, and I have rebuttal that I can't time now. Do you have anything to add?
I think that's it.
All right, guys, let's fight it.
No, wait, because here's the thing about Brad. Yes, he ended up leaving the show single. He ended up not proposing to anybody. But let me give you a little list of people that did not propose towards the end. Juan Pablo, Jesse Palmer, Bob Guinea, Alex Michael, Charlie O'Connelly, Travis Stork. All these guys left The Bachelor not being engaged. So what? Brad was one of the guys that didn't get engaged. Yes, he didn't pick anybody, but it wasn't shocking that he didn't end up being engaged by the end of the show.
How is it not shocking? That's the entire point of the show, is to leave with someone that you love.
Obviously, it wasn't that shocking. They gave him another shot at it. He
And
was the Bachelor on season
No,
15
that's
as well.
how shocking it was that they gave him a whole other
why-
season to do it again
If
so
it
that
was
he
that
could find somebody at the end of it.
And let me just say that your point, it didn't happen on the show.
It happened on after the final rose, which is the part of the Bachelor season.
Nope, I don't agree.
No,
How do you
yeah,
not agree with
I
that?
agree.
Nope.
I agree. Yeah.
How? It's a part. So you're saying that the final episode, that after the final rose, is not
We
a
didn't
part
get
of
to
the
see
season?
that unfold in front of our eyes.
Which
We
is
saw
what made
Brad
it so
Womack not
shocking.
pick anyone.
Nobody saw that coming. It was blind. Nobody saw that coming. Everybody could see that Brad. There was a potential that you don't pick anybody. Everybody knows that's a part of the rules.
No, that's the whole thing.
No, nobody ever thought that it was a part of the rules that you could switch your mind 2 months after you picked the girl.
No one knew it was part of the rules to not pick anyone because
Of
it had
course.
been unprecedented at that point.
What is
at that
everybody
point.
talking about this season with Nick? The potential that he might not find anybody. He might not
But
pick
that
anybody.
wouldn't even
Option
come
for-
up if it weren't for Brad. He set a precedent that was never had before.
Yeah, but now it's happening again. We will never see Jason Mesnick pick somebody else. We'll never see a Bachelor contestant being dumped on after the final rose after they were proposed to 2 months prior. Not to mention, not only did he dump the woman, but he also went after his second choice and asked for a second chance.
Let me say this. This isn't that shocking because this happens all the time in Bachelor Nation.
Wrong. It's never happened to Bachelor Nation.
People hook up outside. They pick someone and then they hook up with other castmates.
Has it ever happened in the
and
history of the show that
not
somebody
broadcasted?
Has it ever happened in the history of the show that somebody got engaged and then after the final rose, which is a part of the season, got dumped and he went back for the second choice? Has it ever happened?
People
I
have
could
been
say
engaged.
that Andy probably
it's
went
never
back.
happened.
Andy went back and we should try to discover Nick a little bit more.
And
after
who
the
did
fact.
Andy leave with after the final rose?
Yeah, it happened after
With
the
Josh
fact.
Murray, the guy that she got proposed to 2 months earlier. And also on your point with
Okay,
Caitlyn,
let's get into
Caitlyn
it.
and Nick, everybody sleeps with each other. Mike Fleiss.
May I give you a rebuttal to that?
Of course.
They slept with each other before the fantasy date, which is, to your point, unprecedented. It never happened before where somebody had snuck in behind closed doors, behind producers, allowing it, and then they said, now it's going to happen when you go into the fantasy
Wrong.
date.
Courtney Robinson.
Unprecedented.
Courtney Robinson slept with Ben Flanagan in the ocean. On camera.
That's not confirmed.
Never
No,
confirmed.
she
That wasn't
confirmed it.
confirmed.
She
That was never
confirmed it,
confirmed.
and you can look it up on Google. If you Google it, she confirmed it.
Fact checked.
He
He slipped it
Courtney
in for a
Robinson
second.
said on to Us Weekly, I think it was, that
But
she
this
had
was
sex
post.
with
She,
Dan
she
Flanagan.
read
This
it.
was-
She
this
wrote
was-
it in her book. She did. She wrote
That
it.
was
in her
Come
book.
post
out
the
and say
show,
to the
though.
other contestants, I had sex with someone, and you
Are we
gotta live
talking-
with him now.
And
But are we talking
apparently-
most shocking thing that happened on an episode, or are we talking most
the
traumatic
history
in
of
the
The
history
Bachelor?
He's
What
talking
was the
about is it
question?
aired. Was
It
it
is.
has
What
to,
is the
have
most
to be
shocking
aired?
Bachelorette moment in the show's history?
So if you were arguing for episode, then your argument is done.
I'm arguing for episode.
Then
because
it's not the
that
question.
feels like that's what the question is.
No, the question was in the history of the show, which is every season of The Bachelor, every
Brad
season of
Womack
Bachelorette,
didn't
Bachelor in
pick
Paradise.
anyone. We all were invested,
So-
and he didn't leave with
And
anyone.
we were all invested in Jason Mesnick, and he got engaged,
And then
and
he
he was
switched.
so loving.
You know what's the difference between
He ended
that
up
and
with at least
ours?
one of them.
Is that he got engaged to somebody that he already had a prior relationship to, so it wasn't that shocking because she was second place, so he obviously had intense feelings
And
for her.
to say that it's unprecedented makes it shocking is your argument. You're saying my thing is the only thing that didn't happen once or twice, right? Makes it the most shocking. I disagree. I don't think that just because it happened one time makes it the most shocking thing.
Absolutely, it makes it more shocking than your arguments because it's only happened once. Not to
Ours has
mention,
only happened once.
People felt so bad for Melissa. People felt so bad for the girl that he dumped on national television after the final rose that he proposed to 2 months earlier. That she was on Dancing with the Stars.
Look,
that is unprecedented. No contestant
imagine-
no contestant that's never been the Bachelor, the Bachelorette has ever been on Dancing with the Stars. People were so shocked by that decision, so depressed about it that they were like, "We want to see more of her. We want to see her on Dancing with the Stars," and she got on and won.
Imagine seeing Brad hand a rose and say, "No, you're not the girl," and then going on to the next girl, and like, "You are not the girl either."
And the audience reaction.
And then the audience reaction at home screams.
Ooh, Andy, I knew this was going to be good, but I didn't know this good. How are you feeling? What's your next
so
thing?
what-
I was thinking Idiot's Guide, so people don't know. This
Yes.
is true. And Jared picked this is all true. Jason changed his mind after the show. He proposed to a girl and then ended up choosing the person he kicked out. Real shocking moment, and it does count. That did happen on the show. That's part of Bachelor canon. Brad Womack did not choose anyone. He came back and then a second time after regretting usually that's the big deal. Who's going to get the roses? He didn't get those roses. And Brooks, you picked Caitlyn and Nick hooking up on Caitlin's season. That is true. They did hook up early. That was sort of
Shocking.
a thing that you don't.
You know what I mean?
Usually you have sex in the fantasy suite, but she decided, hey, girl power. I'm allowed to do what I want, and they decided to have sex earlier.
When Brad came back the second time, did he give a rose out the second time?
Yes,
did
he
propose?
got engaged to
He got
Emily.
to Emily,
The most beautiful
yes.
woman in the entire
And then they
world.
broke up very quickly.
Every single person on the show is the most beautiful person in the entire world. Congrats to you guys.
I mean, I have an opinion. You start. I have an opinion. If you want, that's fact checking wise, right? And then yes, Courtney did have sex with Ben, according to the book. Ben
Is
and I
that
did
the
have
opinion,
sex-
or is that?
No, Emily. It says Ben and I did have sex in the ocean. She said.
That's the headline.
She said it. And she said it.
Yeah, but everything they say is true. These are three really shocking moments. I'd say. Based on the arguments, I could give you my thoughts, but I don't know if Billy wanted to chime in. Based on just hearing it.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of teachable moments from the show, is what I'm gathering. When life hands you lemons, you go on Dancing with the Stars, apparently. But I think Jared made some good arguments. But yeah, this was a fierce first round.
Jared talked a lot.
That's
Sometimes
the thing.
that's
Okay,
the
so
strategy.
I will say before I ask somebody to accept this rose, do not let him put his finger up at you and think that means that you don't get to speak.
Okay.
No, yeah.
You can trounce right over him
Okay,
if
You can do
you
whatever
want.
you want.
Okay.
He
Oh,
yeah,
does-
sorry.
It's not like he is given more airtime than anybody. So this is TV fights. Everybody's allowed to fight for their life.
Incredible.
And for the rose.
I didn't even know I put my finger up in all honesty.
Lauren.
I was in such in the heat of the moment.
He was getting it, but I like that.
Absolutely in the heat of the moment, but you took that as law, like okay, but
making
I'm
the
saying,
bet
Oh no!
next time.
You can tell me to screw off and like shut
Right.
up and oh yeah.
That's what the show's about, and then we hug afterwards.
Exactly.
But based on these arguments, what I will say, going over all of them, Brooks, it did sound like the sleeping together earlier is a big deal, but I didn't think it was quite enough of a big deal to match up with these two examples.
What do you mean?
Those are the two ultimates. Somebody's not even getting engaged after the whole thing, and then you've got somebody who proposes to one person and then ends up getting with the other person. So it was between you guys for this one, and the one that I think was the most shocking, not just because it was the first to happen, but it was the only time, and nobody could have even written this script, is with Jared. Jared, will you accept this rose?
I would love to accept that rose. Thank you.
Good choice. Good choice.
My little arms can barely reach.
No, sorry, I almost fell over. That's why.
I
like
won-
reaching for it.
I 100% guarantee if Jared wins this, we're having a comeback and we're doing a redo.
Love it. Well, hold on.
He has notes. He's
We
very
are currently-
prepared.
I have some notes.
I would
upset.
like to announce that we are currently on round 1, so you're still okay.
Oh, no,
You got plenty of time to kick my
We're
ass.
talking
if you
about
want.
a comeback. We're
Preempting
in
it.
round 1. He has 1 point. It's anybody's game still.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Oh, actually, Andy, what is the internet saying? What's going on over there? And Billy.
So I
the
forgot.
hardest one,
We have a
but we-
poll,
I
right?
We have a
Yes.
poll,
Thank
yeah.
you.
So it looks like
Amazing.
64%
Okay,
went
you
with
t- you really
Brad
should about that.
not choosing anyone, 25% with Jason, and 11% for Caitlin and Nick hooking up.
So we won.
The
No,
internet
they-
poll, yeah. Twitter
Internet
poll.
poll.
So you won the fans over, guys.
Yep.
Oh, Lauren.
TMI.
TMI. All right, guys, let's go to round 2. Question is, which TV character would make the best Bachelor? So of all the characters on other shows, which would make the best Bachelor? We're starting with Jared on this one, then going to TMI, and then Brooks.
Well, I thought a lot about this question, like what makes a great bachelor? And the thing that I kept coming back to was somebody that you can really get behind, because it's not always the most entertaining, it's not always the most controversial, but sometimes the best bachelor to go with is somebody who's a good man that you can really root for. And so somebody that I went for was Jack Shepherd from Lost. Played by Matthew Fox. Jack is just a good man. He's charming. He knows how to talk to women, like it's shown with his relationships with Kate on the show. He's humbled. He has an estranged relationship with his father. He was divorced, which is a huge storyline that they could play into The Bachelor. He's looking for love. He's a good man, and so that's my pick, Jack Shepherd.
Okay, TMI.
Our pick is Uncle Jesse from Full House.
And I will explain why. He is a family-oriented man. When his sister died, he went to his brother-in-law's house to live and help raise 3 girls. He is nurturing and sensitive, has great hair. He is also a business owner. He's a radio DJ. He opened up the Smash Club, and he's a musician. In addition, he proves to be a loyal, loving husband in his relationship with Becky. And he just makes a good friend. And
He
I think
also has interest in all types of women. If you go throughout the entire seasons, he has dated multiple different physical types.
yes, and he is attractive to all. He's a universally handsome man.
Brooks.
My choice is Cosmo Kramer from Seinfeld. Cosmo Kramer carries the show of Seinfeld, and what I like to think about The Bachelor when I think of an interesting Bachelor is somebody that we would like to watch. Juan Pablo and Caitlin's ratings are amongst the highest in Bachelor history, not because they were the best necessarily candidate for someone to find love, but because they were interesting to watch. And Cosmo Kramer carrying Seinfeld was one of the longest standing shows in television history, right? And he also is the only character mentioned here now that is posted on this wall, season 4, Cosmo Kramer of the cult classics here. So that is why I say Kramer would be a great contestant.
All right, let's hear it, guys.
For Bachelor.
Listen, Kramer is an idiot. He wouldn't even get through the season. He would fail halfway through because
Lovable.
None of
he's
the
not
women would
lovable.
Chalk it up
want
to
him.
lovable.
None
He
of the
is
women
too
would want
weird.
to have sex with him.
The women wouldn't fight for him.
No women would
or
want
if
to
they
be with
did
Kramer.
fight for him, it would only be because like they want to win. It's not for true love.
His
Yeah,
humor
but we
is
would
guy oriented.
But we would cast women that would be attracted to
You
Kramer.
can't. You
Let's
don't
talk
pass
about.
necessarily to the actual
Okay,
person.
so in
well,
9
you
seasons,
should.
in 9 seasons of Seinfeld, name one girlfriend of Cosmo Kramer.
Exactly my reasoning why I would like to see Kramer.
But he
find
doesn't know
love.
how to
We've
talk to
never
women. He'd be a
seen
horrible
him.
bachelor.
It's not that he doesn't know how to talk to women. We just have never seen him with women, and we all want to
Exactly,
see him
but
with
I
women.
can only take what I've seen from the television
a
show.
bachelor
He doesn't know how to
needs-
talk to women.
A bachelor needs to be suave and smooth and good with talking.
But
to
who's
women.
creating these rules, you guys? You yourself
Women,
are creating
women,
The Bachelor, yeah,
because
exactly,
you
The
have to
Bachelor
find a
in general.
desirable bachelor.
So is the
He's
Bachelor-
anti-desirable.
He is. Nobody would want to be with Cosmo
Ben
Kramer.
Flanick is like the equivalent to Kramer.
No, I would say
No
Cosmo
one
Kramer is
wants
worse
him.
than Ben Flanick. I would say Cosmo Kramer is way
No
worse.
one
even
wants
better.
him.
And with Uncle Jesse is too much like Nick, where he's aloof and he
Oh,
doesn't.
no.
No. How many? It took him how long to get married and have kids?
Not
And-
long. He
and
was in his 20s.
He was too cool. He was too cool to
No,
Elvis,
no.
the musician.
No.
He was too laid back, too laissez-faire, too
Plus,
He has
sloppy.
And
a
casting is-
passion for music and for Elvis, and every girl likes being shown passion.
If you can be written a song, that is true love.
Yes.
What girl is going to sign up for that household? No one's. And they're going to see this whole situation.
He's
and they're like, I'm
sensitive
out.
Yeah,
and
live with
he
all
deals
those
with
people and
family
all those
issues.
kids.
He doesn't
They
have
have
to
a
live
great
in the
attic
house if he
space.
wants
They'll-
to.
he-
They have a
We've
great
only
attic
ever
space.
seen him move in the house.
The
We'll never see him in the
hometown
house.
dates would be fabulous when the family, the
No, it
girls
would be
got to
horrible
meet the
because she would
families.
go there and she'd be like, "Oh my God, your family is so cool. Like, does everybody live around here?" And he's gonna be like, "No, everybody lives in this fucking house."
If
Excuse
she
my language.
really loves him, then she will deal with that and think it's a beautiful thing that he's taking
Okay,
Yeah,
care
but
of
it's
his
a
family.
huge factor into. Am I gonna live with this guy in this house where there's
It would make
7
it an
kids and
interesting
babies
bachelor.
and uncles and what the hell?
We're not saying if it's gonna be difficult for the women. We're saying if he's gonna be an interesting bachelor, and he would be an interesting
Okay,
bachelor.
But the
but
question
your
is the
argument
best-
against Kramer was that the women wouldn't be interested in Kramer, so you can't use that argument.
The
and then
women will be very
Extremely
very
interested
interested
in
in
him.
Jesse.
Just they'll like his face initially, and then they'll be drawn in by
They're-
his heart and
Yeah,
sensitivity.
but they're not more entertaining than
He-
Kramer. Kramer is going to keep you interested, and as we know, looks fade over time, and people are looking for people. Women are going to look for someone that's going to be interesting. And Cosmo Kramer is funny. He's interesting, and his hometown date includes Jerry Seinfeld, Elaine, and
The question,
the bald man.
The question wasn't the most interesting or entertaining. The question wasn't who the women
but
think are going to find most attractive. The question was who would make the best bachelor. And the best bachelor is Jack Shepard, who J.J. Abrams said maybe the greatest leader in television history, and that's who you want. Someone who can lead and someone who's just a good man and humble.
okay,
and
Jared,
girls that want to
This
fall in
is
love
not
with.
the military. He needs somebody. She needs somebody who's going to sit down with her every night, be
And he
loyal
does,
to her,
and Jack
be
Shepard-
sensitive, and be a good father to her children, which Jesse proves to be.
And Jack Shepard proves the exact same thing when he's talking to Kate and he falls in love with her and how he talks about his
Jack
ex
has way
marriage
too many
and how he's
demons.
divorced and he blames himself
Let's
on
look
it.
at the ratings of last time on this Twitter poll. You guys won, right? Ratings are a big factor when considering who's going to be the best bachelor. Juan Pablo had the best ratings of any bachelor.
Yep.
2 point, and he was not the most attractive. He was not the the man that all the women were swooning after. That's why Kramer would make a great bachelor.
Okay.
All the
People
women
will
want to
watch.
Pablo.
Okay,
At
so
least
if you
have
go back-
sex with
People
that
will watch.
you think that people will be more into looking at Kramer than looking at John Stamos as Uncle Jesse.
100%.
Okay, so if you go by ratings, then Get Out is the best movie to ever be created because it has the highest rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Then I would have
So
to
you
agree
just
with
say
that.
Get Out's the best movie ever.
If that's what the masses are
No,
saying,
that's
then
wrong. That's just morally wrong.
You know what?
Best ratings
Also-
does not equate to the best bachelor.
Once Uncle Jesse found Rebecca, he was loyal to her through and through. He had no interest in other women. He put a ring on it
Not-
right away.
No, he had interest in. No, that's wrong because he dated so many women prior
Before,
to her.
and then
hasn't?
when he
Who
found
hasn't
the
dated many
one,
women?
when he
Yeah,
found the
but
one,
he dated way too many.
he
And
did-
so I
didn't
don't have
matter-
faith that Uncle Jesse could go on The Bachelor
It
and
didn't
be able to
matter
narrow it down to
what an
one
eligible
woman.
bachelor he was.
He'd be
He
too
was-
cool. He'd be too suave. He would be too guarded. Nobody would be
He's
interested.
not
because
guarded.
falling in
He's
love.
never been guarded in
cries
his
all
life.
the
He
time.
writes music about his feelings. He's very expressive. He cries on the show. He's not afraid to show his emotions.
had that show gone on, Jesse would have been one of the other Bachelor contestants that ended up as a breakup. That's what would have happened.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%.
Few people make
false.
it, and Jesse wouldn't have made it.
Not to
And-
mention, you have so many storylines with Jack
Yeah,
Shepard.
I think
He's a
I
strange
really think
relationship
that
with his father.
Kramer
when
would
he-
have a thriving relationship with ever who he ends
What I'm
up
saying
with.
is Jack Shepard would have a great relationship with the women. He knows how to talk to women. He's humble. He's a good man. Women want to marry him. Women want to see him. Women want to root for him. America would want to root for Jack Shepard. They would watch. They would talk about his divorce and how he feels bad about it, and it's his redemption story, and the fact that he's in a strange relationship with his father, and he never wants that. Like the storylines go. So
Okay,
I
I
think
it's
strange
I
relationship with a father
that this
attractive.
man, this very
Jared
attractive
loves this
man, went and lived with his orphaned nieces.
And he still lives there.
No, he doesn't.
He lives there to
couldn't
take
move
care
out.
of them.
He takes care of the whole family.
Okay, so he got married.
Not
Where did he
because
move?
he's poor.
Okay,
the
on the
attic,
show,
not
on the
because-
show, on Full House, he got married. Where did he move?
It doesn't
He
matter.
stayed
They
in
live
the
in a
house.
nice attic. He makes a good living.
Let's
He
see.
makes a good living.
Let's see.
Good debating, guys.
That was good.
Good work,
Good
team.
guys.
Good work,
Fair
team.
play.
I like how it's getting real heated at the table over here. Andy, talk to me. How you feeling?
Well, it's interesting. Kramer had many girlfriends, actually.
Wasn't one of the things that he was really good with
we
women?
Yeah,
He
it was really
always said
good.
it.
There was Pam, the bookstore manager, had a lover's triangle with Jerry. There was so many people. There was, I could list tons of them. But
Yep.
he's had plenty of girlfriends on the show.
Really hot ones.
Yeah, I can confirm Uncle Jesse is universally handsome. That is definitely true. Yeah, otherwise pretty straight arguments. Billy?
I mean, you guys all got it wrong because Al Borland in season 4, episode 16, was voted Bachelor of the Year in Home Improvement. So
Oh, get over it.
I don't know why you guys are even fighting
I
this.
knew you were going to do it to us, Billy.
He was voted by the people as
Oh,
Bachelor
God.
of the
Yeah,
Year.
you know.
Some people are suggesting Frasier.
That's a weird. A lot of Barney Stinson.
Johnny Bravo. Yeah.
My
Barney
backup.
Stinson from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh my God,
Bravo was your
though.
backup?
No, Barney
Hurley
Stinson
from
was
My
just
backup
hired
is
for
obviously
season.
Dr.
Barney
Derek
can't even
Shepherd.
stay with the
I'm
one
surprised
person
he's
he
voted
after
for
all 8 years or whatever.
just reading what they're
I'm
saying.
I'm mad now. All right, based on these arguments, guys, I could see these are 3 very different kinds of bachelors, 3 very different shows that you guys are pitching. But we have to remember when we're arguing, it's not just about making our points; it's also about knocking the other people's points. And I heard negatives about Kramer, and I heard negatives about Uncle Jesse, but I didn't hear enough negatives about Jack because nobody was saying why he wouldn't necessarily make the best bachelor.
with the
I only
character.
watched season
Yeah, because no
1.
one watches that
So
show.
I needed to know why. I needed to know
Lost?
why
You guys
he
ever
would.
watch Lost?
I needed to know why he wouldn't, not just why you guys
is
people would.
unbelievable.
Which
It's only
is why
2.
I, again, Jared,
You watched Lost.
will you accept this
I would
rose?
love to. Thank you.
All right, guys, gotta
Roxy.
get on the board.
Roxy, Uncle Jesse is way too handsome.
Whoa!
He's just way too handsome.
I rescind
Lauren,
my rose,
Ashley,
sir.
will you accept my rose?
Yes.
Can you hand that over, handsome?
Oh.
I just
Dang.
can't. Uncle
He's
Jesse.
allowed
all
to
the
take
wants
way.
it.
bonus points.
His
Uncle
rose
Jesse
is for
all
that,
the way.
and I take his
These
rose
are
away.
guess.
Yeah.
Very
You
low.
take my rose
I
away?
take it back.
Wow,
the judge.
a rose
You will-
takeaway.
No, he gets to overall
Oh,
one
look how
rose.
salty
So you
he's
get to
getting.
supersede that?
Andy!
Once.
Well,
There was
use
one
my
veto.
card.
How
If
are the
you're
polls
allowed to
doing?
propose to somebody and then ask the second
true.
place person to be
Very
your
true.
wife,
Very true.
then he can definitely have me take away that
This is
rose.
feeling very
Absolutely.
much like Bachelor in Paradise to me.
Yeah.
Everyone has a rose but me.
Keep it exciting.
All right, guys,
South Paradise.
let's get to round 3.
I forget. I don't have any more notes after this, so you guys are good.
Can I ask what the polls were on this?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the poll. Sorry, I forgot to
We're
change
bringing
that.
it to
Come
the
on,
people.
Kramer. Come on, Kramer.
Kramer's definitely
Get
gonna win.
closer.
Let's see.
He's updating the poll results.
How many people are watching live?
It's a lot to do in this fact-checking cam.
Yeah, 48% with Uncle Jesse, 34% with Kramer,
Jesse.
and
Yes! I
only
gotcha. I gotcha that
18%
one.
Jack Shepard.
We'll take second
I,
place.
I loved that you tried to go to the argument that women wouldn't want to be with Jesse. all 3 of us were just like, yeah. All right, guys, in round 3, here is the question. This is for both Bachelor and non-Bachelor fans alike. We want you guys to pitch a crossover between The Bachelor/Bachelorette and any other reality TV show. So we're doing a crossover. We're starting with TMI, then going to Brooks, and then Jared.
All right. Well, TMI announces Survivor as the crossover with The Bachelor. So mainly because of entertainment reasons, to see us frilly, well put together appearances in a very humid and disgusting environment and having to, hunt for our food.
Your one-on-one date would be like spearfishing. It would be very entertaining.
Yeah, and then we'd all be just sweaty and in very grumpy, no alcohol, because we need to stay hydrated.
And there's just probably no alcohol.
Yeah, and what other things there was there? I'm not pitching this correctly, except for the fact that if you saw us just in an environment that is so out of our element, it would be hysterical. Like, this is me without my makeup case.
You also get to see everyone pretty much naked.
All the girls without extensions. We get to see all the guys in their full-fledged abs.
Or not. I don't know abs.
Okay.
And you get to see your Bachelor contestants fighting for food. Like, that is amazing.
Brooks.
Thank you.
out of all the songs and all the stories told about love, we never get tired of it, right? It just happens over and over again. And the thing that's missing in the world of love and the world of, and Brooks Forster's team announces, Biggest Loser crossover with The Bachelor, is it's easy to make like goals in place of absence. Like, oh, I want to lose weight. Well, if you're heavier set, that's easier to do. And the one motivation that they don't have of all the motivations they bring on that show is love. And I think that the show would be awesome, poised in a position of, as they continue to lose weight throughout these dates and these exercises, they continue to find love.
Okay, Jared.
Oh boy. The pick that I had was I wanted to do a crossover between The Amazing Race and The Bachelor. And the way I want to do this is usually there's 11 teams on The Amazing Race, and it's usually couples, brothers and sisters, teams of 2. But I want to change things up. I still want it to be one Bachelor or one Bachelorette. And what happens on night 1 is that they have a rose ceremony with 11 people. So if it's a Bachelorette, 11 guys, Bachelor, 11 girls. And what happens after that is they do a cocktail party. It's very similar to The Bachelor, and they hand out roses. And what she does, if there's 11 guys, she hands out 9 roses. And so what happens after those 9 roses, and then it becomes The Amazing Race. And so each guy has to go to a different location and fight his way to there, just like on The Amazing Race, and find his way there. And what happens is if he gets to the destination by a certain point, a certain time, then the Bachelor or the Bachelorette is waiting for a one-on-one date. And if they don't get there in time, then they're eliminated. And then she can supersede, just like Andy just did. She has 2 to use, so she can use 2. So if she really likes the guy and he doesn't make it in time, she can actually supersede it, but she only has 2, so she has to use them wisely. And then week by week, it goes from 9 to 7 to 5, and then the final 5, one person gets eliminated each week to get down to your final rose, and that's my crossover.
That has nothing to do with chemistry.
There's nothing to do with love.
Absolutely. First of all, yours is Bachelor in Paradise. You want to see everybody out of their
Bachelor
element.
in Paradise.
Without the luxury of a buffet.
The show already exists. Nobody wants to see another Bachelor in Paradise.
Everybody wants to see another Bachelor
Wrong.
in Paradise.
No, what they want.
Why did you do it twice?
They want to see a Bachelor in Paradise
Wrong.
without hair extensions, without makeup, without drinks.
If you are struggling with The Bachelor and you are and there's a connection and you feel good about it and you're making it through those hard times together, that is who you're supposed to be
That
with.
is
if
love.
you are laughing
That's
during
the person
it, then
at
that is
their
who you're supposed
worst.
to be.
What was
that
your show?
person is at
I don't even
Survivor.
Oh,
If
okay.
you're at your
That's
worst
why I
with the
think it's
person
bad.
and you still love them and you're screaming and complaining and you look disgusting and that person still loves you, that is amazing.
How can you possibly form a connection while you're doing that, though? The only way to
That is
unless
the
you already have a
ultimate.
connection. So the only way your show doesn't work because there's no way you can form connections while you're spearfishing and looking your worst.
Of course there is.
No,
I
have
of course
no
not, because
idea
you're
how
too
that argument
concentrated
can
on
be.
survival at that
Look,
point.
Yeah, you're
too
concentrated
focused.
on survival, and if you're trying to survive together and you want to be together,
You
while
work in a
that
Wrong.
environment,
You're too
You
focused on
work
survival.
as a unit.
No,
and
it's-
You
that's
cannot
what
form a
marriage
connection.
is.
The
No.
only way you form a connection is if you learn about the other person, you spend time with them.
You're
but you
spending
cannot
you're
so
solve
saying
much
anything.
time. You're spending so much time
You're too
together while doing activities that are, you need to survive. So that bonds you even more because if you're like, if we're not doing this well together, if we're not fishing well together,
That's
if we're not
essentially
hiking well
life.
together,
That's a microcosm
then
of life.
we aren't going to make it in the real world. If we can make it here, we can make it anywhere.
The dominant theme of The Bachelor, and we've seen, is people come for the wrong reasons. And both of your shows are centered around the wrong reasons. They're all about competition. They're all about survival. They're all about getting somewhere. And you will have a bunch of people that are basically there to compete. And we're not necessarily competing for somebody's love. We're just trying to find somebody that we actually are in love with.
Yeah, but your show-
So my show sets up a perfect opportunity, a perfect environment to do that. Because as you compete, or as you compete to lose weight for yourself, you're striving to become better, which we all want to
Are
do
you
in our
dating other
relationships.
castmates, or are you dating strangers in
Is
the
it
real
just like a
world?
It's like Bachelor in Paradise, but Biggest Loser.
But people would go to
Combo.
lose weight. They wouldn't go to find love. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. They wouldn't go for the right
No,
reasons.
but
They're
nobody's-
going to lose
but
weight.
they're not falling in love with each other because they
going to
lose
Survivor
more
because
weight.
they just like want to live in the desert for like 15
Not to mention,
days.
people would lose weight on your show, get sexy, and then be like, wait a minute, I'm actually a hot commodity now. I don't want to date this person. I want to date somebody sexy.
I know it wouldn't happen because you'd be too bonded through that experience.
I wanna
Just
go
as
back
people
to-
on
It's like-
Bachelor in Paradise are.
Jared's is crazy because that is about physical strength. That's about brain strength. It's about
and
mental
also on
strength.
your-
Exactly.
It's
on that
not
journey
about
to go
chemistry.
Wrong.
She
That's
isn't-
why when you
she
get
could
there-
like the stupid guy. She could like the guy that isn't as strong.
But that's why you make it in time and you have a one-on-one date and you spend time with each other and there's a connection. That's why there's a crossover, because there's love and then there's also gameplay, because you have to get there at a certain time. You have to find your way. You have to use your brain. You have to use your strength. And then once you get there, you get to relax and spend time, and that's your reward. And see if
Yeah,
it's
but
the same
what
reason
if,
for Biggest
what if
Loser.
the
That's
guys
the same
aren't
reason why
getting
Biggest Loser
those
would be
and
great.
she doesn't like?
But the-
What if the
but the-
guys that keep winning, she's like likes the loser
That's why she
fat
has two
guy?
of them.
So she only gets to have 2 guys in the end that she actually
Wrong.
really
She
likes.
can use it to supersede because she doesn't know the guys.
So
That's
what
why
if she
she's spending time with
supersedes
them.
the entire season? Every
Because she
week
can
she's
only
like
have 2.
supersede.
That's why she uses them.
But that means
wisely.
that she's not going to get to the guy that she likes if he's
Wrong.
fat and it's not smart.
There's
Wrong,
also
because
no
she can
bonding.
supersede it. She
There's
can
no
say, "Never
bonding
mind."
on the journey to love. If you're running around like by yourself, you're not with the person you're supposed to be getting
That's
to
why
know.
once you get there, you spend time with them and you have a one-on-one that can lead into overnight
so you have no
dates.
trials and tribulations together.
Wrong.
But okay,
wrong,
so
you're
wrong,
not
wrong. You have a
experiencing
whole
life
date together. How is it any different than the Bachelor and the Bachelorette?
Whereas we are experiencing life at its hardest together, you are experiencing fancy dates.
Wrong,
But
because-
yours is also going to be a combination of like you're going to have one event with somebody and then you're going to switch, so you're going to fall in love with multiple different people and you're never going to really have one connection with one particular
This
person.
way you only have one person that you can
it'll
form a
be like
connection with.
in Paradise where you can hang out with the person that you like the very most whenever you want.
There's already a Bachelor in Paradise. Nobody wants to see another
Everybody
Bachelor in Paradise.
wants to
struggling
see
in
another
Bachelor in
Bachelor in Paradise, and
Wrong. Then they
especially
would
a
know.
messy,
You're
dirty
absolutely
Bachelor in
wrong.
Paradise
Your show-
where we're cranky and not as pretty.
Your show
Everybody
would
would
never
love
form
that.
connections because people would be too concerned with surviving, and your show would
No,
never
the
form
biggest-
connections.
the biggest
because
thing people wanna do is
would
lose
leave
weight
that
and fall
show.
in love.
People are
would
struggling
stop
all
that
the
show
time to
and
fall in
date
love.
somebody that they've never dated before because they've always been fat their entire
You're
life,
telling
and
me
now they
that
can
people
date
who are
sexy people and they're
struggling
gonna do
in
it.
real life don't ever fall in
Yeah,
love.
homeless people can't fall in love.
I missed that last part.
Homeless people can't fall in love is what he's saying.
You're saying overweight people can't fall in love.
concentrate on love. if
Andy,
you're
my
struggling.
amazing fact checker,
Well,
talk to
look,
me.
they were all no facts really. I found. I mean, we do want to see another Bachelor in Paradise. I will admit
Yes.
that. We us fans do. That said, it did sound very similar to Bachelor in Paradise.
You want to see more of Bachelor in Paradise? You want to see
we had a lot
another
of good
Bachelor in Paradise.
suggestions. Megan Amber says Shark Tank would be a good crossover, I guess. All the
Okay.
contestants coming back to pitch things. Anthony Hernandez, American Ninja Warrior. I would watch that. I'd
Yeah,
like to see
totally
these,
watch
like
that.
you guys climbing up the big wall. Naked and Afraid from James White. That'd be pretty fun.
Yep.
And David Boehm wants to see a crossover with Hell's Kitchen so he can watch Gordon Ramsay lose it on these shows and probably
Oh,
yell at all
that's-
you guys.
yeah, I like
and
that one.
Jack Manham says I want to see him crossover with The Running Man or Hunger Games because I think he doesn't like The Bachelor and wants them to die.
I know the Hunger Games would be cool, but it had to be another reality TV show, right?
Had to be a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is that like strange one that we talked on Screen Junkies News. It's going to be similar to the Hunger Games in real life, where they're
Also,
putting the
that's
people.
also called Bachelor in Paradise. The
I'd
Hunger
watch
Games in
the
real
hell
life.
out of that.
No, it's like somewhere where
Games
you're
of
allowed
love.
to murder and kill and all of these things. It's like a really messed up thing that's happening out there. I forget what it was called. Okay.
Jared, I can also confirm Jared's very into this, and I'm very impressed. It's definitely.
Oh, thank you, Andy.
yes.
That
So good work.
That's
Whatever
nice
it is,
points
but
valid.
You can
You know,
tell Jared's
everybody
really
has their
here to
things
win.
that they keep saying, like the iconic or wow.
Yeah.
Wrong. I
I've
love
seen. It's like that part from Superman Returns with Lex Luthor's like.
Yeah, exactly that too. Somebody's gonna meme that. All right, great argument here, guys. I think that the best pitch is something that combines not only what would make great television, but what's also good for the contestants. A perfect combination of those two things is what everybody wants to see, or at least what good people want to see. So I think that the problem with what was going on with the Amazing Race one was that it was very, very entertaining, but I wasn't completely convinced that that would be a way that they were able to find love. I think that TMI did a really good job disputing that. The problem with the Survivor one was that it is pretty much Bachelor in Paradise, but it does have a next layer to it, which is the fact that you are spearfishing and whatnot. The problem with Biggest Loser is that I'm not really
Nothing.
sure what the show was.
I didn't understand that you had to pitch the
Like,
whole show with like rules
Is it
and like
like-
how it was gonna break down.
I literally just wrote this down. I was like, oh shit, I really need to be specific, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay, there's gonna be 11, and it's gonna be.
I didn't know if we were losing weight to get the date, or whether
that's actually good.
or whether we were just
The more
whether we were
pounds
just
you lose.
yeah, or whether we were just like losing weight and also trying to hook up at the same time.
Exactly.
So it was a little confusing to me because of that. The one that I think would not only just be the best thing to watch, the most fun to watch, but also could probably work is Survivor.
Yeah.
Survivor gets. Excuse me, TMI. Will you accept this?
Yes,
rose?
thank you.
You guys will have to split the rose.
The Bachelor is
I can
basically
also
Survivor.
confirm the fact that Jared will be so mad if Ashley wins this.
I'll never talk to her again.
Is that true? Don't say it. All right, guys. What is the internet saying, Andy?
They're
And
not,
Billy.
some of them are having fun, some of them are not sure what's going on.
But the internet agreed with you on this question at least. 47% going Survivor, and then 30% Amazing Race, 23% Biggest Loser.
Why couldn't we fall in love while spearfishing? Like it simultaneously
You're
can't
too
happen.
focused on
You
survival.
fall in love on bungee jumping. Like, what's the difference?
I feel like literally.
So I'm trying to
yeah.
disprove your argument. What do you want from me? You want me to agree with you?
They were wondering if
I
the
agree with you
spearfishing was a
secretly
double
on the first
entendre.
Sorry, what's going on?
They were wondering if the spearfishing was a double entendre.
Yes.
Yes,
The
always.
spearfishing is what? I'm sorry?
A double entendre.
Always is.
As in like sex, I think.
Oh, the sex thing.
Or actually spearfishing.
Yes, or yeah. I was confused, but now I understand. All right, guys, let's get to round 4.
Excuse me.
We want to know what real life single celebrity, athlete, personality, that kind of thing should become the next Bachelor or Bachelorette. So you guys are pitching real life people to become the next Bachelor or Bachelorette. We're starting with Brooks on this one and making our way around the table.
He doesn't remember.
We're
I don't
starting.
remember.
We're starting with
Who?
Brooks momentarily, and until then,
Amy Schumer.
Oh, that's right. Okay, you guys, listen.
Andy.
Amy Schumer, she's a comedian. She's hilarious. She is single. She's been on the show, The Bachelor, multiple times. She was on Caitlyn's season, and might I add, one of the best rated seasons of The Bachelorette. Amy Schumer has been rumored to have a desire to go on the show, so I think that's step 1 in the celebrities. Most celebrities won't do this. Amy Schumer's like, if I can pick the contestants, I may do the show. And so I think that in watching The Bachelor, we do want to find love, but we also want it to be entertaining, and I find Amy Schumer to be a great contestant for that.
Jared.
My pick for the next Bachelorette is Taylor Swift. And the reason I picked Taylor Swift is that she's 27 years old. She's the perfect age to become the next Bachelorette. She's beautiful. She's successful. She has one of the most biggest followings, both on social media and just in her general life, in pop culture today. People want to know exactly what's going on with her. People want to know who she's dating. People want to know when the next song comes out about her ex. And there'd be a perfect person to say, I want to see her fall in love because I've heard too many songs about her exes, and I want to see this girl finally end up with a guy that she deserves, that she can be happy with, that her fairy tale happy ending can occur.
TMI.
Our pick is Kourtney Kardashian. She's an entrepreneur. She's beautiful, universally beautiful. Everyone wants her. She's single. She has 3 kids, a great family. It would be an amazing hometown date to meet all of them, and you get to be part of this amazing, successful family. Anything to add?
Yes. She could also cook for you. She will always stay in good shape for you.
Yes.
And she's sarcastic and can banter with men. She's better with bantering with men than she would be with bantering with women.
Okay, guys, let's fight it.
Okay, can you repeat the question? Because let's repeat the question.
What
Please.
real life single celebrity, athlete,
No,
personality?
as long as
Amy
they're not married. As long as they're not
Schumer
married. She does
slut-
have a longtime boyfriend. She's been
Amy
with him for
Schumer
over a
is
year.
not single.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
Scott Disick. Scott Disick. Like, if you're going to go with
You
that
c-
argument against him, then
She
Scott
is
Disick is
single.
way too much of a thorn in anybody's side to want to end up with Kourtney.
To make it interesting, he could come on and
There's no
interview
way.
the
Nobody
potential
would
guys
ever. They'd
to
be
be
like,
very
I can't.
entertaining.
Okay, well,
Yeah, but
speaking
nobody
of
wants
that,
to
no.
fight against Scott Disick. It's
No,
too
look,
much.
nobody
they
wants
should
to date
neutralize
Taylor
this.
Swift because Taylor will write about you in their songs. Guys hate that. Guys hate being called out. They also hate the fact that she is dramatic and she has
There's
this
not a guy in this
tendency-
world that wouldn't want to end up with Taylor Swift.
Yes,
to be
guys,
that
there's-
one guy that doesn't get a
there's-
song written about him.
Maybe
That's
guys
the
are like
narcissistic
big
factor of the guy.
exes.
But
I
the
can
fact
name
that she
them
hasn't-
Harry
she
Styles,
doesn't have
Joe
somebody.
Jonas,
That's why.
Taylor Lautner, Tom Hiddleston, the Kennedy.
Jake
all of them
Gyllenhaal.
don't want to
So
be
what's
with
going on
her.
with Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian?
They
over
have
here?
babies together. They have to be around
Exactly.
each other.
Nobody wants to take on baby mama and Scott Disick and have to deal
Every
with that.
guy wants to go to
Absolutely.
Vegas with Scott Disick.
Nobody
Every
wants
guy
to have
wants
to
to
walk
hang
into
out
that
with
situation
Scott.
and have to deal with baby daddy being Scott Disick.
No one
guy ever wants to walk into that
probably
situation.
ends up being written
friends.
about him,
No.
and then he will be
Not
shamed
to
by
mention-
all of Taylor Swift's fans. And Taylor Swift fans, they may love her, but they know that while watching the show, they're
Yep,
gonna
they love her.
say that this girl is not gonna end up staying with this guy because she can't make a relationship work. So
That's
why
all
am
she-
I
and,
going
and
why-
because she needs to make another record, and she
Why?
needs this to not work out.
No,
so it's
what
like
she
we already
needs,
know
if
from the
anything,
beginning.
for PR, she doesn't need another record. People are tired of that. What she needs is a public relationship that she's happy, and she doesn't write a song about it, and and she can change her image. That's exactly what
point
Taylor
about
Swift
Why
needs.
am I going
Not
to
mention
invest myself in another Taylor Swift relationship and then get other songs about these guys that are
That's why
not
you-
going to end up working?
That's why you would invest in her being the Bachelorette, because this is it. This is her final rose. This is the guy that she's going to spend the rest of her life with. That's why people
She's
watch
not
because they
going
want
to
to
end.
believe in
She's
love.
not
Why
going
else
to
is she
spend the rest
interesting?
of her
What
life
else
in
does she
it.
do but
She's
sing?
too
She's beautiful.
dramatic.
She's talented. She can sing. She can dance.
But
She's
what
cannot
else is
dance. She
But
cannot dance.
is the whole
She
show
can't
going to
dance.
be about
Okay.
her dancing and singing?
Excuse
That
me.
would be
Also,
so
let's
boring.
address Amy Schumer here. Does anyone really want to have
Nobody
sex?
wants to
Nobody
date Amy
wants to
Schumer.
date Amy Schumer.
Okay, let's look at
She
tweets
may
of who should
funny,
be the
but
next.
nobody
Who
wants
would
to
be the
bang
next
her
Bachelorette?
right now.
I know, but let's look at tweets about who should
Yeah.
be the next Bachelorette. That's a celebrity.
Girls
Number
would,
one will be
girls
Amy
would
Schumer.
like Amy
Number
Schumer,
one,
but the
Amy
guys
Schumer.
would not be desired.
The
Would
core
not
audience of
desire
The
her.
Bachelor would hate Amy Schumer.
You can't put
because
her on
she's too
TV.
raunchy. She's too comedic. She wouldn't fall in love.
She's
she
too
would-
awesome.
She wouldn't be invested in the process. She would take it too lighthearted. She wouldn't really care. She'd be like, oh, okay, well, if I end up with him, great.
Oh, and-
I don't really care
and-
though. And people would hate her because
And
of that.
Taylor Swift is going to be like, oh, I'm
Yes,
taking this
people
seriously.
love Taylor Swift. People get
No.
behind Taylor Swift. Why do you think they keep listening
You know
to her
what?
music? Why do you
People
think they keep
also
seeing her
don't
shows? Why
always-
do you think 100 million people
Why do you
follow
think
her on Instagram?
more people
I
watch
care
her
about-
movies? Amy Schumer has more movies than Taylor Swift.
No,
And
she
was
doesn't.
No.
And
Amy Schumer doesn't have more
movies.
movies.
That
Okay,
doesn't mean
fine,
just
you're
because she
right.
has more movies,
But she
she's
doesn't
more
have more
successful, doesn't
content.
she?
But
All right, the
you're-
success factor has nothing to do with this. Okay, Courtney also has a bajillion different businesses, and she has created an empire from herself. So that's attractive to guys. Courtney
We've heard
is,
too much of her. We've seen too much
No,
of the
but
Kardashians.
we've
Nobody
seen
wants to be
more
involved in
too
the
much
Kardashians.
Taylor
They're
Swift,
so
too.
Who
fake,
doesn't
they're
want
overrated.
to have all
Who
that?
doesn't want to have that
money?
family?
Okay, Taylor Swift
Everybody
is
wants to be
just
part of that
not
family.
richer.
Okay, so here's the deal with Taylor is that guys are gonna be like, I am turned off by the fact that she's like annoying and prissy. No guy is attracted
People
to
view
Taylor
the
Swift's
Kardashians the
personality.
same way.
So-
People
No,
view Courtney the same way.
She's not
Even
prissy.
worse.
All
Are you
the
kidding me?
Kardashians
If
are
you
very
put-
real.
If you put
They do,
Taylor
they keep
Swift
it
and
real.
Kourtney Kardashian next to each other, people are like, well, Kourtney
Taylor
Kardashian's way more
would be
dramatic.
like Kayla, where she would just be doing and saying what she's supposed to be saying when she didn't really feel what she was saying and what she was
Shots
feeling.
fired.
Who do you guys want to be with? Do you want to be with somebody that you're actually going to spend time with, or do you want to be with a character?
She's
or
not
do
a
you want to be
character.
with Taylor Swift? I will give you this: we don't know a ton about necessarily in her personal life. We know way too much about the Kardashians.
Nobody
We've already
cares.
seen them on a reality TV show.
They want to find out
And-
more about people they don't know about.
Everybody
pretty
knows
reserved.
plenty about Taylor's personal life.
The Kardashians, nobody cares about the Kardashians.
Everybody,
We've
well,
already
that's
seen too much.
well,
We've already seen their
that's
personal life.
interesting considering that they're like being renewed for season 14.
That's fine. Taylor Swift's got way more followers
What
than
guy
Kourtney.
wouldn't want to hook up
People
with
are
Kourtney
more
Kardashian?
concerned about Taylor Swift, and they want to know who she's dating, and they want to know what's next, and they want to find out more about her personal life, and they want her to settle down with someone because they're tired of these songs, and this is the perfect.
They're not tired of the
Everybody
songs.
would
If
take-
she's not breaking up
I
with
want to
people.
hear a
That's
little
why
bit about
people
what
are
your
watching.
season would look like, because I still don't know where I'm going with this one. So why should the person be the Bachelor or Bachelorette? What does it look like if they're there? What kind of season is it going to be? Starting with Jared over there.
Taylor Swift's would be one of the more romantic seasons, which is what every Bachelor fan wants to see. Not to mention everybody's like, oh, drama and interesting and funny. Ben Higgins was one of the highest rated Bachelor seasons of all time, and it was one of the more romantic seasons I've ever seen. Sean Lowe is seen as one of the best Bachelors of all time, and his was super romantic. So don't tell me that romance doesn't sell. People want to see Taylor Swift settle down with a guy. She's 27 years old. She's getting more mature. She wants to find that one person she's going to spend the rest of her life with, and people will tune into that. And she'll be sweet, and she'll be caring, and people will get behind her, and she'll be invested and emotional. And this is the selling point right here. This is the final guy that a song will not be written about. It's too good of a storyline. People want to see it. People will tune in.
TMI.
Courtney's the happy medium between the both of them. You'll get the comedy relief, and you'll also get the
Boring.
romance.
And we are already invested in Courtney's life as we are Taylor, except for she doesn't have the constant breakups. We know she's a long-term
We know too much about
relationship
Courtney.
person.
Go ahead.
She's a long-term relationship person. She can she can be with somebody for 10 years. She can have kids with them. She's stable and she's not floozy. And we know that she has a good family.
She would tell the
good
guys
family
the truth.
values.
If she had sat down with them one-on-one, she would tell them the truth. If she didn't like them, she would tell them, and that would make
And
good
she's
TV.
the only one of her sisters right now that isn't in a relationship, and she's the oldest, and she needs to really start settling down. Taylor's very young, and she doesn't even know herself yet. And every single album,
27 seems a little young
Yeah.
to me.
Ben Higgins was 27.
it doesn't matter. He's not
Yeah,
married
I
yet.
think they're
so,
too young.
So you don't think he was a good Bachelor?
No, he was a great bachelor, but
Okay.
I'm not saying it's going to
Brooks,
lead to a
give me
long-term
your
relationship.
final
ABC
thoughts.
continues to have to make new choices to make the show interesting, and in doing so, Amy Schumer would be a great choice because, to your guys' point, she may not be the most attractive person. She may not be a Taylor Swift or she may not be a Courtney, but ABC's continuing to make choices like Rachel, who's going to be the new Black Bachelorette, which we all approve, which we think is great. Now, Amy Schumer had a really hard life, which is where she has brought a lot of her comedy from. So just because she's funny doesn't mean that she doesn't have things to talk about outside of comedy, and it doesn't mean that she also can't be romantic. So if we're talking about watching somebody on television and watching their journey, all of the elements that we like when we go, oh, this person has an experience, there's no lag in the conversation, all of those things are going to happen with Amy Schumer because she has the romance, she has the comedy, she has an interesting story to tell, and she's different.
Does she have the romance?
Too bad she's not single.
Everybody with their
But this is a hypothetical world.
Andy-
She's hypothetically
Andy and
single.
Billy, talk to me on the
That's
couch.
amazing.
Yeah, so I had to check up some facts on this. Apparently, Kourtney Kardashian is an entrepreneur. I had to Google that myself.
Oh, good. Fact.
But by her biography.com says she is a successful entrepreneur. She runs clothing stores, etc. So good
Does
for her.
Taylor Swift have
Taylor Swift-
more followers than she does?
I can check that next, but
Yeah.
I was checking. She doesn't really dance very well. There's lots of very cringeworthy moments of her not dancing. So
Yeah.
that was correct. And I did go to an IGN message board to see if people do want to bang Amy Schumer. No, never. Yeah.
Amy Schumer, I would bang Amy
Yeah,
Schumer.
it depends
I would
if
bang
I
Amy
was
Schumer.
juiced or not. Yeah, I just want to put a bag over her early stand-up routines.
Oh, no, she's funny.
Okay, so
It was mixed. I'd say
yeah.
50-50 they do.
But would you hang out with her?
That wasn't what I Googled.
Yeah.
I Googled would they bang her.
Yeah.
But I'll look up the you can tell us about
Yeah,
well,
the
Courtney and
internet
Tyler,
had
I'll say.
some good choices here. Malik said Larry David would make a good one. Dan said Betty White. Ned said
Yes.
Jimmy Kimmel. Jonathan was insistent that it be Zac Efron, and when I say insistent, I mean my whole feed is just Zac Efron shirtless. Chewbacca said Brad Pitt should be the Bachelor, and Angelina Jolie should be the Bachelorette. And Anthony and a lot of our Screen Junkies fans, they want to find our good old buddy Ken Nabzox some love.
Larry
okay.
David, yeah, he's bangable.
According to Nez.
Guys, I have news for you. People with money, no matter what they look like,
Yeah.
tend to be
Amy
bangable. Some
Schumer.
people.
Amy Schumer.
Okay.
On Instagram followers or Twitter followers? I have both.
Instagram.
On Instagram, Taylor Swift is tremendously beating her, 98.2 million versus 53.7 million for Courtney. So
People
Taylor
like
Swift
each other.
is far more followed. And on Twitter, she has 83 million, Taylor Swift, and Kourtney Kardashian has, sorry, it's loading, it's bad internet, 83 million versus, oh, sorry, it didn't work.
That's
But
okay.
I'll tell you if it changes.
Wow. It's so funny that somebody can be
83
crushing
million
you.
versus 21 million.
Oh wow, that is
So
crushing.
big difference.
It's crazy that you can be crushing somebody when somebody has 50 million followers, that
know.
somebody can
Isn't
still
that
be
insane?
crushing
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's wild.
You don't have enough followers to hang out with us.
Sorry. I didn't give the rose yet. Do you want to insult me now?
No, I'm saying-
or-
No,
Okay.
he's not saying it to you. Yeah.
Like, I'm Taylor Swift and you're Courtney. Like,
I know, if I'm Courtney
calm
now,
when you
I'm
have
not going to give
25
you my
million
rose.
more.
I wouldn't
Taylor
give it
Swift's
to him.
exes, though, would be a fantastic cast for a Bachelor.
Yes,
That would be
that is
amazing.
very true. You know, for this one, it was interesting because it wasn't until the final arguments that I really had my decision made. Two of these, I think, were fought, other than the fact that they're all celebrities, which is different, other than the fact that they are all very, very famous, which isn't something that this show 100% has stepped into yet. Two of them were very similar to things the show has done already. And one of them really stood out, and it is true that standing out is something that ABC needs to do and The Bachelor needs to do to keep getting new fans and to be original in the season. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this, but surprisingly enough,
Kourtney Kardashian.
Amy Schumer gets point on this one. Brooks, will you accept this rose?
I love how we're all so happy for Brooks. We're like,
An even keel. It's even.
yes.
It could have been easily
You
the
beat
case
me.
that I had no roses at the end
Your
of this.
last
No,
argument
stop
was
that. You
your
gotta
last.
I can't
They
fight
were
back.
all, they were all good though. Andy, and Billy, what is the internet saying? What do you guys think?
Well, our Twitter poll is interesting because it reflects an answer that was not fought on this fight. So, 44% Taylor Swift, 27% Amy Schumer, and just the dark horse in this race, 28% for Mindy Kaling, who was not in the running.
Miss
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Sorry.
That was our second choice.
Yeah, that was their second choice.
Well, it happens to the best of us.
That's crazy.
So it's nice to know. And you would have lost with Mindy. So you made a good choice.
But we weren't even on the rankings, were we?
Guys, going into round 5, I would like to say, Brooks, you are on the board now with 1 point. Jared, you also have 1 point, or should I say 1 rose? And TMI, you have 2.
Have 1 rose.
So
2 heads, 2
frustrating.
roses,
I won
1
2
rose.
arguments and I only have
No.
1.
You
No,
actually
you didn't.
didn't.
It's the rules of the game. Are you arguing with the rules of the game?
Not arguing.
Here we go.
out facts.
Round 5, guys. This is a big one, and a lot of people have debated this for seasons and seasons and continue to debate it, and we want to know, who is the best Bachelor/Bachelorette of all time? Andy.
Can I make a suggestion for them, Roxy?
Yes.
Roxy hasn't seen them all. So speak to an audience that doesn't know and tell us why.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of our fans out there too. We gotta know the facts. What makes them the best Bachelorette? Thanks for that, Andy. We're starting with Jared on this one, then Team TMI, and then Brooks.
The answer to the best Bachelor, best Bachelorette in the history of the show is none other than Ben Higgins, who's the latest Bachelor. He was Bachelor number 20. He was promoted as being the perfect Ben. He's 27 years old. He got engaged to Lauren at the end. He is seen. That would be Juan Pablo, not Ben Higgins, by the way, up on that screen. So there he is. There's Ben. He's one of the more handsome men you'll ever see in your entire life. He's 6'4". Physically, he fits the Bachelor role perfectly. Emotionally, he fits it perfectly, as we were all invested in his journey. He was so loving, so caring. He articulated himself so well throughout the entire season to all these different women. He is engaged right now. He was so popular, he was so loved that he had a spin-off show, the first ever Happily Ever After on Freeform, around him and his fiancee Lauren, because people could not get enough of Ben, who's the best Bachelor of all time.
Okay, TMI.
The best Bachelor or Bachelorette to ever exist was Kaitlyn Bristowe. She's the funny girl that every guy wants to hang out with on the couch, take to a sports game. You want to show her off because she's so hot, but you also want her to hang out at the bar with your guy friends because she can talk like a guy and do a quote Dumber and Dumber with you.
You're a little cutting deep here.
She's sexy, but she's super smart. She can laugh with you and she can cry with you. She has a full range of emotions and she's not afraid to express it. And, Lauren, you have
She's
anything else
very
to add?
comfortable with her sexuality. She had
super comfortable with her sexuality. She will let you fling her anywhere around the room.
She's so tiny and so cute. Very, very beautiful.
She's a girl's girl and she's a guy's guy, and that is a rare find.
Okay, Brooks.
When we're considering who the best Bachelor contestant is of all time, the question itself connotes that it's of all time, so there's some like memorable moments that have to be included in there, and there's no other Bachelor contestant that is more memorable, loved or hated, than Juan Pablo. And Juan Pablo was the very first quote, and I use air quotes for diverse choice because technically he is from Venezuela, but
pretty white.
He's a pretty white guy, but Spanish speaker. That's his first language. He was the first Bachelor contestant who has Spanish as his first language. Who doesn't like a Latin love? Physically, he fits the bill. Women are attracted to him. Women swooned. I think it was the biggest swooning event we'd ever seen in Bachelor history when Juan Pablo was announced the Bachelor. He had the highest ratings of any Bachelor contestant, so the ratings speak for itself. He was the most interesting to watch.
Okay, guys, let's fight.
To argue your point, you
bring
said
it
that the best Bachelor is because of moments, even though you just argued... Memorable moments, exactly.
Yeah.
Even though you just argued that the most shocking moment in the history of the Bachelor franchise happened on her season. So why wouldn't Kaitlyn be the best?
Well, she had one shocking moment, but Juan Pablo had multiple moments, and it's not about necessarily the Bachelor, it's about us as viewers. And Juan Pablo, for us as viewers, was more interesting to watch than Ben. Ben was a great contestant for finding love, but he was kind of bland and he was kind of boring.
I do agree with you there. I think this argument is all about, it's not the person, it's who provided a great season. And the Bachelor, and the Bachelorette who created the best season was Kaitlyn. She had one of the most shocking moments, and it may not have been the most shocking moment, but was one of the most shocking moments of Bachelor history by sleeping with Nick early. She was controversial. She created an amazing season where we were enthralled every single week because the guys were fighting over her more than any other
Knowing that they would
Bachelor
never let her go because so many people are like, I'll win and then we'll break up after, but no one ever wanted to break up with Kaitlyn.
Everyone knew how much she was a catch.
She was a prize.
We've never seen guys act like that. Normally we want the guys want to win because they want the notoriety, and then they're like, she's a sweet girl. She'd make a good wife. This is the kind of girl that every guy wanted to hang out with, and the competition between them was like we've never seen before.
I think Caitlyn got away with murder. I mean,
she did. She made a lot of mistakes. One.
Yeah.
Secondly,
It did not take away from the entertainment value of the season.
Who's the best Bachelor or the Bachelorette? The question was not what was the best season. So the best Bachelor, Caitlyn, yeah, she had a really cool season. Guess what? That doesn't make her the best Bachelorette because she made a lot of mistakes. She told Sean, she broke the rules and told her that he was the one in San Antonio. She slept with Nick before the face.
Your Bachelor said I love you to two people. Who does that?
Yeah,
and he just said that.
And guess what? He's still seen as the best Bachelor of all time.
No, it's not. That's to you.
No, universally.
Not
universally. She just said that Caitlyn was bad
Absolutely.
because she slept with Nick
Juan
and then
Pablo,
she...
people hate Juan Pablo. People never want to see Juan Pablo on their television screen again because of how...
But that would fall into who's
People
the
will
most
tell-
loved Bachelor. That's not the question either.
The
And
best Bachelor.
It was
not
not
the most loved, but the best Bachelor.
The best
Who was the
Bachelor.
best?
You can say that Chris Soules was a better Bachelor than Ben because
Wrong.
he is
No
more,
way!
Yeah.
How is Chris Soules a better Bachelor? Please explain.
Because he has a more well-rounded background. More.
That doesn't make a good Bachelor.
Yeah, it does. Then what's
A
makes a
good
good
background
Bachelor
makes
to
a
you?
good Bachelor. A good Bachelor means that you root for them, that they're good, that like you can get
Did
behind
you not
them.
root for Caitlyn? Did you not
A
actually
lot of
fall in
people
love
did not
with
root for
Caitlyn?
Caitlyn when she slept with Nick. They said she should never have been the Bachelorette. Do you not remember this? How
And
people
that's-
hated her for this?
Yeah, and
people
that-
wanted her kicked off the show. People wanted her, every guy on that season to
That's
leave
slut
because she
shaming.
let
Yeah,
and then
that's
he brought up a good point of
slut-shaming.
feminism.
But
How
you're
well this
asking
guy-
me what she did wrong. That was a
She did
mistake.
it in your
How
opinion,
can-
and I know your opinion. That wasn't wrong.
But look,
Wrong.
it's,
I know your opinion is
What-
Ben is the best Bachelor of all
what
time.
is
No,
it?
I would always argue Caitlyn before this.
No,
I
look,
would
there was-
always
there was-
argue Caitlyn provided the most entertaining season because.
But it's not the best
because
season. It's the best
it is-
Bachelor, the best Bachelorette.
No, it isn't. It isn't.
There-
It's the
there-
best
there-
season.
look,
Why-
there-
question.
There was a double standard on Caitlyn's season.
Yes.
Like there was some slut shaming that came to her
Of
fans.
course.
But ABC was the one that actually pushed Juan Pablo under and did the slut shaming on Juan Pablo. That's why people hated Juan Pablo because he did some of the same things that Caitlyn had done. So if we're gonna say, oh, Juan Pablo, people hated him. Well, a lot of people hated Caitlyn too. So Juan Pablo, if we
Pablo
were to ask
wasn't a
ABC
gentleman.
and-
That's the thing. Juan
Yeah,
Pablo said
He said,
some
I like
crazy
to fuck
things.
you to Claire.
Yeah,
That's
said,
not
I
a
like-
gentleman. That is not a good
But wait,
no
does
words.
that make do you have to have all the
Yes,
politically correct?
yes. You
because
have to
then
be
Caitlyn
a
would
good,
be out.
No,
because
you have to be a
Caitlyn did
good
not
person.
say
Caitlyn had a
everything
good
PC.
heart and soul
Exactly.
that she had to. Yes, she like.
She got to sleep with
Bachelor-
Nick, and then moments later get proposed to Sean, and then be married
How
happily
does,
ever. And
how
then
does
was
it make
like,
a
okay.
difference if the
Like,
Bachelor or Bachelorette sleeps with
And then
three
in the
people
fantasy
in the fantasy suite? What is
versus
the difference
a couple weeks
I'm
beforehand?
not
that makes
defending
no
that.
difference.
I'm not
I'm
defending
not
that.
defending that, but Bachelor hated it.
She has a
Bachelor
good.
fans hated it.
She
They
is a
hated Caitlyn
good
at the time.
person. Our thing about Juan
She's a good
Pablo
person. No one's
is
arguing
that
that. Doesn't make her the best
he
Bachelor.
He's a
said
dick.
some. Yeah, he was an
I really like you at
undeniable
the
dick.
at
He
the
was the best
end.
bachelor because he was either loved or hated. He was the most polarizing, and that's what makes a great bachelor. It's
That's
not
what
whether or
makes
not he's
apparently
a lover like Ben.
that's what
Ben's
makes
kind of
the
boring.
best Bachelor season. So it really has to do with what we're actually arguing
Yes.
here, because
The question was, who was the best Bachelor, not the best Bachelor.
Which kind of goes into the same thing. Like if you're the best
Caitlyn
bachelor,
was
you are the best
also
season.
to say that she was the best Bachelorette in beyond the fact that guys loved her and girls loved her. It was the fact that girls could relate to her. They looked at her and was like, "That's how I talk in real life.
But I
I am
feel like
not
they
this
do that with
prissy
most women.
princess."
They do that with everybody. They did it with
No.
Nick.
No.
They do
No.
it
They did that with
Chris, they
Emily.
make
They did
Juan
that
Pablo.
with
Not with
Desiree.
Emily.
They did
Emily
it
was
with
absolutely
Amy.
Yeah,
Emily.
every
You
Bachelorette,
couldn't
JoJo,
reach
every-
Emily because you were like, "Oh, that girl's too perfect. She's wonderful. She's magical."
there's a funny moments
but with
in
Caitlyn,
relationships.
So
she
who
was
was
like,
more
"I
relatable?
have flaws like Caitlyn have
I
flaws."
would argue that Desiree was more relatable than Caitlyn.
Hell to the no.
That's your opinion, but your opinion's
As
wrong.
the years
No,
go
it's
on,
not.
Caitlyn will be forgotten, and so will Ben. But Juan
Desiree's
Pablo
already
will always
forgotten
be
in my
remembered.
mind.
No.
Juan
Absolutely
Pablo
wrong.
will always be
Ben
remembered.
got his own season afterwards because people
It
could
doesn't
not get
matter.
enough of Ben. They
No,
wanted
that
to see
wasn't
more
it.
of him.
Because
They
they
would
wanted
have
to
given Caitlyn the
monetize.
season because people really wanted Caitlyn, but she's too
No, they
raunchy
didn't
for
give
their
Caitlyn because people wanted to see Ben and Lauren. They didn't
family-oriented
want to see Caitlyn and
program.
Sean.
No, everybody
if Caitlyn-
asked for Caitlyn and Sean to have their own show because
They would
their
vote-
Snapchat
Who? Who's
is
everybody?
amazing because their chemistry
Snapchat
as
is
a couple
not
is
equal to
stronger
the
than
best
any
Bachelor.
other. No,
Nobody's pining for Caitlyn and Sean to get their own show.
If you want
Ben
to
and Lauren.
do, if you want to do a comparison between who is the ratings between their freeform
Who
show
would rather see
and
Ben and
who's
Lauren and
watching Caitlyn and Sean's
Ben and Lauren would
Snapchat,
kill 'em.
no way.
Freeform ratings, I would love to see this because
I would
Tyler
love to
ratings
see
are
it.
way
Juan
higher
Pablo's
than
the
the
best ratings.
Snapchat of Caitlyn.
Bachelor viewers, not freeform watchers.
Bachelor viewers.
And
Well,
yeah,
you said who had more audience.
I need your
They
help
have a
on
more
this,
loyal
Sonia.
audience.
lots of
Caitlyn and Sean
thoughts.
have a much more
I've
loyal
been,
Yeah,
audience.
I've been
need your
stuck
thoughts.
going and trying to figure out the ratings. It's hard to actually find the exact ratings.
Yeah,
It
those
does
are
look
tough.
like Juan Pablo did have a very high rated season. and Ben's was not as good.
But it was still way better than Crystal's.
Yes, but so the ratings are hard to track.
Ratings,
so
yeah.
I
Ben
can't
killed
help
you
there.
guys.
But I can help on
It
sort
was
of
like
these
maybe 2,000.
things.
Wait, hold on.
Sorry,
Hey, guys, stop talking for a second.
The
Andy, go
question
ahead.
was, who is the best Bachelorette all time? I have a clear winner. I have very strong thoughts based on the arguments, but just to share some things, Juan Pablo is definitely hated by everyone. Made homophobic remarks, slut-shamed contestants, like
The best.
the villain of the show. So definitely not a nice guy. And ABC had to sort of backtrack a lot during even the season because, and then there was the whole "it's okay, it's okay." For Bachelor
It's
people.
okay.
Yes.
He anyway, not
communicator.
loved, but played his own game, right? Sorry, I was stuck with. I think Ashley said a lot. I think Ashley. Sorry, I can't tell who's speaking. But Caitlyn was very loved. She was sort of that guy's girl that everyone wanted to be with. Extremely popular. So that was that. Ben was very stuck in it. Ben was the most in love I think a contestant's ever been.
Yeah, he was in love with two of them.
And then he's so much so that he was told 2 women he loved them and broke the rules of The Bachelor. Which is they're not supposed to say they love the contestant, but he told both, which was kind of a shitty thing to do to the second person. But that's where we're stuck. So I can share you more, tell you more of my feelings. I don't know if you have more to offer on the poll.
I think.
But I have a clear winner if you want me to help you.
Everybody online is just kind of lamenting that they're single right now. That's kind of just where we are in this Twitter feed. But everyone's just like, oh man, I'm a bachelor and I can't get dates. I was like, I don't know how to respond to you.
I have extra
Most
roses on the
people from
table
The
for
Bachelor
them.
are single as well.
Everybody gets a
we
rose.
do have a clear winner in the poll whenever you are ready, Rax.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to take a crack at this, and Andy, if I'm wrong, you let me know. Just pull a Jared and say, wrong.
I'm sorry
I
about
love that.
It's like just a reaction.
No, everybody's got their thing. I like
Yeah,
it.
I didn't know I had that thing.
So, based on these arguments, I'm so sorry, Brooks, but Juan Pablo is just like, when we use the word best,
Yeah.
we're not talking just about a character. We're also talking about a human being. So it's not like it's not the best character, the best person to watch. So you just can't put those two
I didn't know
words
that was
together.
part of the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, so this was between you guys across the table. And one of them, I feel like we could have argued the exact same arguments for so many different people because it was pretty generic. Ratings or not, I don't know which of the seasons had higher ratings, but I think that the only knock on The Bachelorette was that she made some mistakes, and I think mistakes is part of the process and what makes better television too. TMI, will you accept this?
Yes! Well, on that argument, though, Ben made some mistakes.
I also failed to
he didn't
mention
get the rose.
that she won a popular vote amongst the men and was the only bachelorette to be voted to the position.
Voted to be the Bachelor.
Hey, I will
I am
admit, when I saw
curious.
Caitlyn, you guys were like, Caitlyn, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a good
I totally agree.
Oh,
totally,
good.
we're
Thanks.
so in agreement.
Great, thanks.
But I have a suggestion because now we need to do a tiebreaker.
Yes, we do.
I would look at your round 2 speed round questions. It feels like a very fantastic speed
I
round.
will,
Tiebreaker.
but I know
This
that
looks very
the
much
people
in the
out
lead.
there, I'm sure, want to know what the internet said, though. So, Billy,
they
can you
picked
talk
Juan
to me?
Pablo.
They did by 43% over 29 and 28
Thank you.
respectively
Take
for
that.
Caitlyn.
Thank you, Twitter.
Yeah, you
did
take
get the
that
viewer's
victory.
choice.
Take
I'd
that
go
victory
retweet
there.
some of that.
Guys, like I was talking about before, we now are going into the speed rounds, but we have a speed round tiebreaker because
do it,
Jared,
Brooks.
Brooks, one of you guys will be going into this. TMI, you've already secured your place going in. Whoever gets this point, though, does not get to keep their point. That just means that they get to go into the speed rounds. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Perfect.
And Roxy,
All right.
I think round 2 is the most
Yep.
fitting here. Okay.
Got it. I love that.
So you're going to ask a question.
Yep, and
then-
you guys are gonna shout out answers.
Okay.
Whatever you
To
have.
be clear, sorry, I'm gonna help. Not yes or no question,
Yes.
and you have to. Whoever says that yes or no first gets to take that yes.
Okay.
Oh, this is a yes and no question.
Yes.
So we say
So-
yes or no, and then we add
So I'm
a
about-
follow-up
Shit,
question.
okay.
I'm about to ask a question. It's a yes or no question. So
Okay.
you guys are going to shout it out. If you say the same answer, we're going to decide who said it first. Then you're each going to have 20 seconds to fight it. So it would go 20, 20, and then 10 seconds to about 10, 10. We'll talk you through it again. But just for now, just shout out yes or no based on this question.
Okay.
Got
Roxy,
it?
can you say should you instead of is it okay to?
Yep.
Okay.
Should you have sex in the fantasy suite?
Yes.
So you are yes, you are no. Starting with Brooks.
You have time, Jared.
Do you
Sorry. You have the clock.
The expectation at the end
Hold
of
on.
this.
Clock
go
starts
ahead.
when you begin speaking. Yeah.
Okay.
Are we good, Billy? Okay.
The expectation at the end of this show is that you're going to propose to somebody and eventually get married and fall in love with each other. If you do not go through the process all the way, which is sex, then how could you really know if you're truly compatible with someone? I don't even need the extra time.
I would argue that
Hold
you don't
on.
need...
Wait a second.
I don't even need it. Whatever.
Time when you go ahead. When you're ready.
Roast drop.
Okay.
Brooks arguing against everybody who gets married and waits till sex to have married. Any virgin that has to wait, they should be proud of that. You don't have to force sex in the fantasy suite. Sex is not the most important thing about a relationship. The most important thing about a relationship is love, and that's what The Bachelor is all about, and that's what you're here to find. It's not about sex. You can get married.
You can get married.
10-second rebuttal.
It's going? Okay, great. Just because you haven't had sex doesn't mean that your relationship is better, which is the grounds of your argument. If you look at the statistics, if you've had sex prior to marriage, it's actually more likely you'll stay together.
That is a true fact. I've obviously looked this up.
Jared, go ahead.
You have 10 seconds. Yeah. Well, the time will start when you begin speaking.
Becca's one of the most popular contestants of all time, and she's a virgin. She was almost the Bachelorette. She should have been the Bachelorette. Sean Lowe's a born-again virgin. Everybody loved him. You don't need sex to have marriage. People wait till marriage to have sex, and people love that about the people.
What about me?
But the question wasn't...
Shut up, Ashley.
Not part of this round, TMI. You already secured your spot. All right. Based on...
No, it's hot, right?
Based on
hard.
these arguments, I'm coming over to you first, Billy Business. What do you think?
Can we read the question beforehand? Like, what was the yes or no question?
The question is, should you have sex in the fantasy
Yeah.
suite?
Can we give him 10 more seconds to really answer that? Because I'm stuck. Are you really good?
I would love 10 more seconds. That would be very, very helpful.
Should they have sex in the fantasy suite? You each have 10 more seconds. Use them wisely.
So we're starting with Brooks on this one.
Every Bachelor contestant that has been a virgin, to your point, Jared, has wanted to have sex in the fantasy suite date, which I feel is a should have sex.
I have no idea where you're basing it
Hold on. Okay. And when you're ready.
That's just not true because Becca has never said that. Any virgin that's been on the show, I've never heard of that story before. You don't need, a lot of people in this country wait till marriage to have sex because they want to. You don't need to. That doesn't mean just because you're a virgin you can't be a bachelor, bachelorette because of that.
Whew.
Didn't make it much easier there. All right, Billy, based on these arguments, because you, beforehand, I
Right.
think it was you, Billy, but I don't remember, somebody was calling it the Fantasy Factory, so you have no idea what the fantasy
Fantasy Factory.
That was me and Handsome.
Yeah.
That might have been wishful thinking. I think based on the arguments, sometimes just the guy who gets more out kind of in the last word in my ear can sway me, so I'm going to say Jared.
Yeah, it's a fair way to do it. I think you did get more out, and I didn't hear either way why you should or shouldn't. I think and the only thing I heard was, yeah, you can, and then virgins are allowed to wait, and they are allowed to wait. So I go with Jared.
Yeah.
I would agree with that too.
It was a
I
lot
was like,
of-
that's a tough argument.
It was a lot of
The answer that was missing was no, you shouldn't because you're dating multiple women at the same time,
That's
and it's
it.
unfair to both women. Or
Yes, you should, 'cause you need to figure out your
really need to get
chemistry.
a better chemistry with. So neither of them really gave.
We were
the
kind of
right
fighting could or couldn't. Yeah, we were fighting could or couldn't, not should or shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I do think based on this, there was not much of a rebuttal for you shouldn't because some people are waiting. So I got a little bit more from Jared. Jared, you don't get the rose because you don't get what you are going through. Brooks, I'm going to use you as my judge, though. So now you get to put on your judge's hat. This is the fun part because we
great.
get to judge the crap out of these people.
Battling over here.
Jared is
great
going
job.
against
2
TMI.
against 1.
Are you complaining that you
Wait,
made
I
it
just
through?
like to say that Brooks did a great job. It was last minute for him, and he
Yeah.
had the last pick at all the answers.
Yeah, seriously,
Thank you.
absolutely did. And he already is asking for a rebuttal round by
That's right.
the first one.
Before I
So
even started.
definitely
Same
we'll
question.
do a round
Should you have sex in
two.
the fantasy suite?
So
We'll come back
guys,
with like essays.
just so you know, TMI has 3 points going into this. Jared, you have 1, so it is an uphill battle for you. Is that clear to everybody?
Yes.
Crystal.
All right, and you guys know how this works now. You got to just see it. Shout out the answers. Everybody ready on the couch with the
Yeah.
timer and whatnot? Here we go.
Okay, wait. How did this go?
The same way it went with them.
Oh, okay.
One of you should pick. Who's answering?
Yeah, whatever. You go.
Thank you, Randy.
Okay, fine. I'll go.
Okay, great. Question is, Which contestant should get a second chance as the next Bachelor or Bachelorette?
Me.
Me.
That's fair.
Jared.
Okay, starting with Team I.
Okay, well, I've never had a boyfriend before, so I think it's about time. Then I'm a fan favorite and every girl's like go-to favorite because I am so relatable to them. Yes, I will cry the entire time, but I will show a big variety of emotions. I will hit every emotion in the book. I will be giddy. I will be elated, but I will also be passionate and sad.
Girls love you, guys do not, because you cry too much and you're too emotional. You sabotaged my relationship on Bachelor in Paradise 2. I didn't even get. That's why they brought me back on Bachelor in Paradise 3, because I didn't have time to form a relationship because you were too obsessed with me. Bachelor in Paradise 3, you sabotaged my relationship with Kayla. I should get another shot without Ashley there to see if I can finally fall in love for the last time.
The thing is, people didn't care that Jared had a problem because they just cared more about me and they wanted to see us together, and that's all they care about. They didn't want to see him with any other bitch.
No. The only reason Ashley is because she was so obsessed with me and it was relatability. But people felt so bad for me. That's why they invited me back on Bachelor in Paradise 3. That's why they want to make me the Bachelor, because they feel bad and actually sabotage my time on both seasons.
At the end of the day,
Whoa.
nobody.
Shots fired.
Whoa. Hey, good job.
Love that.
As soon as you picked me, I was like, I gotta pick me.
I was unaware going into this. Is there a history at the table?
Oh, yeah.
Now I know. Woohoo! Brooks, coming to you first. Based on these arguments, who do you think
I add.
wins the point?
Just based on
the arguments, not your own. We don't
Not
get to use our own
personal
opinion.
relationships.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew the history, and so when Jared brought up the Bachelor in Paradise moment about sabotaging your relationship with Kayla, I agreed with you. I also agree that Ashley would be a super dynamic Bachelorette contestant like we've never seen before, which was a great argument for viewing. But in terms of like Bachelor audience wanting to watch somebody, I think they would want to watch Jared.
Okay.
Because Ashley ruined.
That was all the edit.
Andy, we're coming to you.
Based off the
man.
arguments.
I'll applaud Ashley because I know the backstory, and she didn't play the virgin card, which I applaud. I think that was actually really ballsy, because that would be an easy way to do it. That's also
Is that a card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The backstory, sorry to give that. Yes, she's a virgin and she tried to have sex with Jared. Jared.
No.
That's not how it went down.
I'm doing the idiot's guide, but yes, they were in a relationship. They wanted to be together on the show. Jared wasn't really having it on Bachelors in Paradise. Then they came back in season 2. Jared was there. Ashley showed up unannounced, and then Jared had trouble on that season. Very great TV and very nice people, I also like to add.
Okay.
But based on the arguments, man, I was really with Ashley, but then Jared just came out swinging, and the fact that he went swinging so hard, that I think I probably would have said Ashley, but based on the arguments, I gotta say Jared really went there.
Billy.
That's fine. Can I just have my own piece for a second?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. He is basing his argument based on what fans have seen on TV, not the actual thing that went down.
So they said they invited him back to Paradise.
This is all not fact. This is all
They
based on
actually
arguments.
invited him back to Paradise because they knew that they could get me and then I would bring the drama.
That's why they asked me well before you.
Yeah, they needed to secure you in order to ask me.
No.
Billy,
Yes.
Somebody who's never seen the show.
Yeah, I have no context. That shit was dope. That was awesome. Damn.
The Bachelor's awesome.
Wow.
Nobody is tweeting Jared like, oh my god,
this
I need
is
to
like-
go.
like
I need to see him
Twitter?
find someone.
Actually, there's many people that tweet me, but I don't retweet it.
Dude, Twitter just
I don't
woke
retweet it
up
either.
right now. Like, this
I
is
back before
nuts.
The Bachelorette
There's
was
no
announced.
question I'm going with Jared because he was like, she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a game, and he's like, boom, right there.
He
Jared,
just said
that was
Ashley didn't do
nuts.
anything for
Ashley
himself.
Yeah, he did not promote
Back
himself.
All right, here.
Ashley's very nice. They're all very
that.
nice. This is a game. Yes.
Yes,
but
obviously, of
Jared
course, this is a game.
blew-
Wasn't the question why would
So,
you
yes.
be the best bachelor? Because I would say that I defended myself and he did not promote himself.
First of all, it was certainly not why would you be the best bachelor. It was which contestant should get a second chance, and you guys both voted for yourselves.
And
which is totally-
Jared's was sabotaged. Whether who did it or not, it would be nice to give Jared a second chance.
So, okay.
Why don't I get a second?
Shut up.
So, I
I think they both should.
vote for you both, for sure, in life. But based on these arguments, as somebody who seriously, honest to God, didn't know you guys even had a history going into this, that's how anybody at home, I watched this season. It's the first season I've watched. I don't know why I started to join this season. I just did. But based on these arguments, the question is who should get a second chance? And because we focused on the second chance part of it, I do like I like not just a redemption story, but somebody whose first chance maybe got cut off too soon or didn't work out the way that they thought it would. Even if it's just the way that the audiences think of it, that's who's watching the show. So based on that and these arguments, Jared, you get the point for this
Thank
one.
you. I only had to argue myself because I knew Ashley was gonna crush me if I tried to argue anybody else. I just didn't have a good argument.
Okay.
I was like, because honestly, I think Ashley should be the next Bachelorette.
Jared.
So I was like, shit.
For the record,
thank you.
For the record, Jared, I love you, but I agree.
Yeah. I think Ashley should be the next Bachelorette.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why when she said me, I'm like, oh shit. I was like, how am I gonna argue this? And I was like, all right, I got an idea.
Yeah, he used false news.
Fake news.
Fake news. Fake news.
Hashtag fake news. Hashtag TV fights fake news. All right, guys, going in this next question, Jared, you have 2 roses.
You do it. You
Team
guys-
TMI, you have 3. Which one of you guys will be
She's
fighting
gonna
for this
do
one?
it.
Are you sure?
Yeah. You guys did so good together. You guys argue all the time in real life anyway. I think it'll be good.
All right. Let's keep the fun going.
Yeah.
Here we go with this next
It's really
question.
lighthearted.
It's actually very, very dark.
Oh, great. Here we go.
If host Chris Harrison died, who would be
Ashley Kennedy.
the next best host?
Wells Adams. Wells has a bachelor.
No,
he
no,
has-
we're going to start with Jared because he answered first.
Yes.
Ashley's relatable. She's popular. Every girl loves her. It's unbelievable. I swear to God, every girl that comes up to me doesn't even care about Kayla. They're like, how is Ashley? I want to know more about Ashley. There's not a more perfect host who already has a background in hosting to be the next host of The Bachelor, except for Ashley Kennedy. She would kill it. People would love her. People are relatable. She'd give great relationship advice because she's always given me great relationship advice throughout the years. She would be absolutely the best host.
Okay. I have no validity as I've never had a relationship, so therefore I don't think that I should be guiding other people in their own relationships. Also, just because that I'm fun and relatable and everybody loves me doesn't mean that I'm gonna make a great host. I'm just really in the beginning stages of hosting, whereas Wells has 9 years of broadcast experience. He's able to present himself in a more mature manner.
You'll have 10 more seconds. Go ahead,
Wells
Jared.
drinks a lot, and he would not be able to contain himself around all that alcohol. He'd be drunk on set all the time. He already does the drunk Snapchats. Everybody knows about it. So there is no way he'd be able to contain himself. You would be a way better host. You'd be professional. You'd be there on time every day.
10 more seconds.
Sorry.
I have seen him drink so many times that I've never seen him get sloppy. He would always be composed, and no matter how many drinks he had that night, he would sound as if he's 100% sober. We just know him as a human being, and this is a true fact.
It's an opinion, not a fact.
No, it's a fact. He always handles himself well.
Damn. Fact checking, he's a DJ, I think.
Yeah.
I'm looking at his experience.
He's a radio host
He
DJ.
does have a lot of drunken videos on the internet.
Brooks, I'm coming to you. Based on these arguments, who did you think should be the next host if Chris Harrison died?
I don't think there could have been a more dynamic argument where you were arguing for Ashley and Ashley had to down herself. No. I liked the fact that you chose a woman as opposed to a man. I was like, that's gonna be kind of interesting to have. But and I do think Wells has a lot of experience. I don't think that just because he has more time in it that he'd be better than you per se as a host. So based off of the arguments and just how I felt, I'm gonna give it to Jared.
Okay. Team Couch, Billy Biz.
That was some masterful backpedaling,
Yeah.
dude.
I know.
That's a master's
That was
course. I'm taking
amazing.
notes.
But then so was her
Yeah.
move when she sort of was like, I have never been in a relationship. So I'd be a terrible host.
I mean, yeah, knocking your own credentials. Damn, girl, I'm gonna give it to you because I gave it to him the last round for keeping it real, and you just
She
kept
kept
it
it
even
real.
more real. I'm gonna give it to Ashley.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, all I can say is Megan Amber online says lots of sexual tension happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could go either way. Brooke, that's where I'm feeling. Where you break the tie. Go ahead.
It's kind of like a win-win for Ashley.
I know, right? It's like, do you really want to lose this one?
Yeah. I think that if you are able to be humble enough to say why somebody else should get a job over you based on experience, based on those arguments. I don't know if he would do a better job than you, but you know you better than I do. Based on your arguments, Team TMI gets the point on this one. Team TMI, will you accept this rose?
You guys, I really can't.
It was
believe I
really
did that.
impressive.
I knew that if I had picked myself, that there would be too much I could not defend.
But look, I figure if not the next
Thank you.
Bachelorette, the
the
next
host.
host.
I say the host of After
know.
Paradise.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
So I believe this is must win for
Jared, yeah.
For Jared.
Okay.
You keep
Or
going.
you should go, Lauren.
No, you keep going.
Okay. And we've decided
I hate
that.
when you two fight.
Here, and by the way, he totally still wants to get in your pants after that response because like he just like totally.
I had to make it up after the last one. I was like, I really need to
Yeah. If
suck
you knew
up.
the
He's
canon,
staying
Roxy,
with
you
us.
know
He
that's
needs
not
to be
true.
nice.
I know nothing, but that's all it seems like to me. From this side of this table, he
They
wants
couldn't
you.
make it happen in Bachelor in Paradise
they've
2
had
or
several
3.
opportunities.
It happens on Screen
She wanted to be in
Junkies.
her pants.
I don't
It
know
would've
what I'm
happened.
starting right now. Let's move on to the next question.
This is where it would happen. This is where like he's the happiest.
That's absolutely true.
Jared, I'll give you an
You're all
extra
here.
point if you make out with her right now.
Anyway, here we go.
Going to die. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, do we want to make this?
Do I get the extra
Should
points?
I
Am I back in?
I'll do that. I'll do
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
Do they both get a point?
I know.
Or
I
she
know.
actually
just
she
Jared.
doesn't
Are
get
you?
a
If
point.
she's okay with it, I mean, I just assume she might be.
Let's move. No, let's.
Am I back in?
Okay with it.
Okay, next question. Here we go, guys.
Could you imagine the amount of views this video would get though?
A lot of views.
We could use the viewership.
You guys are killing it.
All right. The offer will stand after this next question as long as
Yes, if he loses.
Yeah. Never mind. Please let me really want the views. All right. Who is the worst bachelor or bachelorette of all time?
Juan Pablo.
Both.
I think
I
he
heard
said
Jared
it
I think he was
first.
louder.
Okay.
So you have a minute. You can
So
think.
you have to pick a second one.
Desiree.
Okay, starting with Jared.
Who, for the record, Brooks walked out on this season just to fill people in.
I love how Andy remembers that. That's
Oh,
amazing.
I agree.
Sorry,
Okay,
not to
Jared,
call it out,
whenever
but I
you're
gotta
ready
get
with
it
your
out.
20 seconds.
Juan Pablo is the worst bachelor of all time because he was mean to the women. He ended up not getting engaged. He told at the end, he didn't even say I love you to anybody. He said I like you a lot. Andy, everybody wanted to lead the season. Claire, her second choice, stormed off saying he'd be a terrible father and a terrible person. If that's the second person that you had, then you know you're a bad person. You're a bad bachelor. Andy, the third person, left. And the final one, Nikki, he said I like you, not I love
Okay.
you.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna pick Desiree because she was timid and boring, and not that that's a bad thing, but for TV it was bad. She didn't have enough personality. She was always like a pity party. She's like, why me, why me? She was always crying. She was always down on herself. She showed no confidence, and that wasn't attractive to the guys, and it wasn't exactly attractive to the viewers. There was nothing like super relatable about her. 10-second rebuttal.
Desiree's just Juan Pablo is universally hated, and this is also the question of who the worst bachelor is, which we already stated before includes the human being. And Juan Pablo was terrible to the women. He was terrible to everybody that was involved in production.
10 seconds.
I think that the Bachelor, the Bachelorette has to provide a sense of entertainment, and Juan Pablo certainly did that, even if he was a dick. And, you know, this is the girl that she was so boring that poor Wells here had to walk out on her.
Wells? You said Wells.
That's it.
Brooks.
Wells.
I said Wells for some very
I'll take
strange
that.
reason.
I'll take that.
All
I'll
right.
take a Wells compliment.
You're both very good.
Wells Brooks over here. Brooks, what do you think?
I don't like it. First, you picked Juan Pablo, who I just argued was the best. So I like immediately don't like that. And I was on Desiree's season, so
You're in a lose-lose here.
yeah, lose here. You know,
Why did you walk out?
we don't have time
to
for that.
dive in that.
Let's not go there yet. To your argument, Juan Pablo was universally hated, and if we're talking about the worst bachelor, that's a very good argument. Also, for your argument, Desiree's season was one of the worst rated seasons. It was not entertaining, and it was, to your point, kind of so I'm kind of torn in this one, more so than any other. I think I'm gonna have to give my point to Jared, mainly because he's the underdog and we need you to come back.
At least he's honest. Team Couch, Billy Biz, talk to me.
Having never seen the show, because these were both very different arguments, I gotta say, I think I'm gonna give it to Ashley because she said her Bachelorette's boring, but if this guy's a total douchebag, I kind of am interested just to see why everyone hates him so much. So at least he's entertaining. If she's boring, I don't want to see it. So Ashley gets my vote.
Andy.
Yeah, that is a good argument. At the same time, Juan Pablo is just the worst. So slight edge to Jared, but I defer to you.
Andy, that wasn't helpful.
Wish I hadn't thought that.
I mean, what would you rather watch? The worst or the most boring?
Yeah.
Based on the arguments.
rather watch
But they didn't really argue that.
But do you feel
They
like
didn't really
you're
argue that either. We're sort of adding that a little bit more.
Yeah, you're kind of adding that on.
But she did say he was boring, but
Yeah.
I'm adding that a little bit. I still think Jared did a better argument of the worst.
The question with who is the worst Bachelor, it is two parts. Yes, we are talking about the person like we discussed before, but it also is who is making the worst show. But I think that
Wait, before you say yours, can I go back on mine? Now that we're talking about the worst show, Desiree's would be worse.
well,
At least
Worst
Juan
Bachelor,
Pablo
not
is
worst
good.
show.
it's both. It's not worst season. It is
This is
both
a hard
Bachelor.
question, you guys.
The
I'm
best
gonna
moment of
stay.
Desiree's season was when he was supposed to win and he left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And broke her
Oh,
heart.
you were supposed to win?
Well, it was presented that way.
That was the best
yes.
moment. It wasn't really her doing it. He actually
He was
helped
walking.
added
She
some
was
good drama to the
sprinting.
show.
It was awkward.
Yeah.
Personal stuff aside, the rest of the season was pretty boring.
Producer
And now you have
analogy.
three
Juan
kids.
Pablo
I know.
was just a
He's such a
sleaze
happy
and
papa. Yeah.
a character the whole show,
3
but an
months.
awful person. Juan Pablo.
But I do think though, based on these arguments,
Underdog.
when we're talking about who is it that you're picking? You can't
he's
seem to
going back and
decide.
forth.
When we're talking about the worst Bachelor, universally known and based on these arguments that was presented, that not just with his treatment of women, but there was so much hatred. I have to give it to Juan Pablo. Jared, you get the point on this one.
You did the right thing.
P.S. Social Connection is very happy. If Ashley wins with Desiree, I'm going to cry. I love Desiree. So there's some love for Desiree out there.
Desiree seems
Just
really
none
sweet.
at this
Yeah,
table.
she's really nice. She seems like a really nice girl.
We're all friends.
Just
We're just
not
arguing.
just not for Brooks.
We're just arguing, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Does she still pine over you?
No, she's married, has a kid.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, I know. It's a happy.
She's actually
married
great.
the guy
It's
that
just
she
fantastic.
ended up
She
with.
picked, yeah?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she
She
wasn't
married her
gonna-
second choice.
She wasn't gonna pick him if he was still around.
Oh my god.
Well, we don't know that.
It all works serendipitous ways.
The drama is real. All right, so it's still a must-win position for
I really think
Jared.
that you should keep going because if I lose it for us, I won't be able to live.
What are we thinking?
Their call.
Well, this is the tying one, right? Wait,
No.
you didn't
Oh
give-
yeah, yeah. Sorry. Well, you
Right.
accept this, Rose.
Thank you very much.
So if you wanna do it now, and then we can tie. I'll take the tiebreaker.
Lauren, have confidence. You're good.
Yeah,
like, I
you
feel
are
like we'll
good.
lose to you.
Yeah, I
You're-
would like
you're a
Lauren to
very
take
good
this
arguer.
one.
Yeah, but he could be using reverse psychology. You don't know.
No, I'm not.
It's true,
I'll
'cause
use
you're really
reverse
bad.
psychology during the
Or can I make a suggestion? If you don't know an answer, just don't say it and the other person can chime in. The only reason you need to be first is one of you needs to be fast.
Are you sure that we can't do it together?
Yeah, do it
I
together.
just need to hear one.
Yeah,
Well,
one.
it's hard to
one
decide.
One
voice.
answer.
One answer.
Right.
Unless
Okay.
he
You
once
can
he
take the
says
answer.
if he says an answer,
And
the
I'll
other
help
person can
defend
chime in.
Yeah, you guys
Okay.
can like
One
converse.
answer. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. What other reality show needs to add the fantasy suite?
Oh wait, is this just for me or both of us?
It's
For both of you, who
both
do you
of you guys.
answer?
The Walking Dead.
What other reality?
Oh shit.
What other reality? Although interesting.
I was gonna say you
Brother.
should just let it go.
Big brother.
Okay.
Ooh.
Is
Big
it
Brother.
still on?
It is still on.
American Idol.
Wow.
Okay.
AK or The Voice, either one, it's fine.
No, you have to pick one.
Oh, well,
American
is it
Idol because
even-
you said it first.
Even though
American
it's
Idol,
off
we know
air,
more about
I'm just
that.
saying that because
American
it's
Idol.
off
Okay.
air. It's
Yeah,
fine,
that's,
right?
That's fine.
100%
But we're
that
starting
right
with
now.
Jared with Big Brother.
Big Brother, you watch the contestants for 24/7. What it lacks is a lot of sexual attention, and what the fantasy suite would give to Big Brother is sexual attention. Having people live under one house, knowing that the fantasy suite is in a couple weeks, and having to build a relationship, and whether they're ready for the fantasy suite or not, I think it would add a lot of fighting. It would add a lot of drama. Who's going to which fantasy suite? Am I going with you? Are we developing a relationship? Are we ready for the fantasy suite?
Like The Bachelor, people are coupling up on American Idol and you just don't know it, but behind the scenes, we've always wanted to know more about the dynamic and the relationships between the contestants, and they are sloppy. We know past contestants on American Idol, and there are plenty of hookups, and fans ship the people there, and they want to see what's actually going on the tour bus.
10-second rebuttal from Jared.
In order to do that, they'd have to take away time from the talent and actually add to relationships, which American Idol cannot do. It loses core audience. What Big Brother is just watching people connect, develop friendships, and now you can develop relationships that lead into the fantasy suite.
10-second rebuttal.
Personality has a big factor in who wins American Idol. It's usually not the person with the best voice. It's the person who's overall well liked, and if they couple up with somebody that is also well liked, then they're a power couple.
People.
All right, based on these, Brooks, what do you think?
Whoa, if last time was not a split, you came back with like Big Brother, it fits the model. I was like, awesome. You came back with like, we want to see the behind the scenes part. And I'm like, oh, you've won me over. And then you just shot that down like, no, the audience wouldn't like it. It's not the show.
It's a tough job.
And I'm like, okay, awesome, rebuttal. And then you guys came back, yeah, but it's about personality. I don't know what to do here, guys.
All right, we're going over to the couch. Billy Biz.
Great arguments, both of them, actually. Just based on what she said, look, I think Big Brother kind of already maybe has that kind of vibe of hooking up, but bring it to something like American Idol, and you could have a whole new generation of people watching it.
Hell yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Ashley on this one.
Andy.
Yeah, I mean, if they had said, Paula Abdul's fancy suite because she slept with a contestant or something, that would have been very interesting. But they didn't go there.
Corey. His name was
that's right.
Clark.
I just thought, based on the argument, Jared's was the most tight, and you don't have time for relationships, so I got to give it to Jared.
And I'm going to give mine to Ashley, and Ashley and Lauren.
TMI.
TMI.
Because I find that would be a show that I would be interested in watching.
Yeah, I think that I would be interested in watching both. And usually we can be dreamers on this show, so that's totally fine. But I think that the one that I didn't hear enough about, and I know you have such a short amount of time, but how realistically it would work on American Idol, like at what point are we going into the fantasy suite?
When they go on tour.
So Big Brother, I think that it just makes sense with it. Big Brother, Jared, you get the point on this one.
Big Brother already is a big fuck fest.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and you
But
wouldn't
if you
get those
add
under the
fantasy suite
blanket
to, like-
makeout sessions, just so awkwardly.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and if you lead it, I don't know.
Don't they do that?
That means
I
that we
actually
are.
like your idea,
Are we
though.
tied?
Jared,
Yeah,
tied.
this is
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
This is a long one.
I actually really like
You have to
this.
actually say yes. You can't just say thank you, right? Is that like when I ask you to accept the rose, you have to say yes, or can you just say thank you?
I don't know.
I think it's so, yes.
I really don't know, actually.
Okay, well, I'll take a thank you. Here we go, guys. This is going to be the final question, no matter what. This is it. We have come down to the end
You're
here.
doing it.
You guys are, well, Lauren, you chance in.
Here we go.
Is 7 better?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm just for our audience. I don't know if they'll get 6.
Okay, let's do 7.
Wait, what are we doing? I'm sorry.
She's taking a
Sorry,
different
This
question.
has nothing to do with
this
you.
is for all the
I thought we were
marbles.
going up to 7.
Right? I mean, I defer to you, but
I think so too, Andy.
Right? Do you agree, Billy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. Final question. What is the best TV location to take a date to?
Somewhere in California, LA.
No, TV location.
What do you mean?
Nailed it.
Not
Specific
geographically.
location from a TV show.
Like
Like in The Walking Dead, like you go to jail.
Wait, what?
Like
From a fucking TV show.
All right, hold on, sorry.
a location,
I
like
can't
they go
give
to Finland,
examples.
they go to Australia.
Yeah, it's from a TV show.
from a TV location.
I'm sorry.
So like a place that exists in television.
Oh, okay.
Like the
in
like-
television.
Yes, any television
TV
show.
Gotcha.
Location in a television show that's not just a city. That's real.
Yes, yes, something along those lines.
Okay. The Bachelor Mansion.
Good fucking god.
Am I like totally getting this? Am I not understanding this?
No, you can say that.
You
Best-
can say
That's
that.
great.
So the best TV location to take a date to is the Bachelor Mansion.
Oh.
Do you want to go back on it?
Oh, I get it. Okay, so you're saying like what like famous TV location would be
Sorry, I'm
a good
taking so
date
long.
spot?
Are we okay
yes.
changing
Would
the
be a
answer?
good date
yes,
spot?
now that you understand the question. Guys, take a couple seconds, think about it.
Holy crap.
Okay, hold on. Yes, please. Give me a couple
Can I just say this is turning into one of my favorite speed rounds of all
Yes,
time?
it's really good.
In the almost year I've been here.
Yeah, it's good. What do you got on your shirt, Billy?
This is my Frank Underwood for president
Lauren, I
shirt.
know where I take
I'm
them.
going
like
to
that.
go with the bar from Cheers.
Okay.
I know, I'm looking at the movies.
No, they're all TV shows.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Seattle Grace Hospital.
I'm sorry, what was your answer?
Yes.
Yeah,
Grey's
Seattle
Anatomy?
Grace
Yes.
Hospital.
Is it called
It's
Grey's?
called Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital
Okay.
or something
It's
like that.
changed,
But
yeah, it's changed three
I
times,
knew
but
it
It's a
meant.
Grey's Anatomy Hospital.
First
okay.
it was
But it is
Seattle
Hospital for
Grace.
Grey's Anatomy. So we are starting
Wow.
with
It is now.
Jared with the Cheers bar.
Cheers is a bar where everybody
Hold
knows
on,
your
sorry,
name.
sorry.
Oh, my bad.
Period.
I love how you.
Team couch. Come
I
on.
know, we're so into
Just we're
this.
so wrapped up. This is
All right,
amazing.
go ahead when you're ready.
Cheers is a bar that everybody. Oh Jesus, what's going on?
Your
No,
time, ready.
you're good.
Oh, Cheers is a bar that everybody knows your name. You go in there, everybody's friendly. It's a comfortable environment. You can sit down and have a drink with a girl and really get to know them. Spend a great time with great friends. It's a great environment. She'll feel comfortable. She'll love going with you. She'll love meeting all your friends. It's a great environment to get to know somebody. Go on a date. It's chill. You don't need over the top type of things like on The Bachelor, which is the biggest, the worst thing about The Bachelor is the over the top dates because you don't get to talk to somebody.
Okay.
Seattle Grace Hospital is where many
Look, hold
romance.
on, hold on. Yes. Seattle Grace Hospital is where every girl, not girls today, if we're talking modern day, girls do not give a crap about the Cheers bar. They love Grey's Anatomy. They want to go to the place where all their favorite romances and all these different characters fell in love. Not to mention that you can go to the cafeteria and have a meal. You can also have sex in the on-call room. And then this is the place where a romantic
Okay.
moment like the post-it happened.
You cannot have sex in a hospital when it's sterilized. The woman would get so depressed because there's so many patients that are going through so many sick times. They wouldn't even want to care about love. They would hate the date because all they do is just feel depressed after leaving. They want to go to Cheers. They want to meet people they know. They want to have fun. They want to get to know that person and just grab a drink.
They would want to reminisce on the love stories that they've seen flourish over 13 seasons. And the whole sex and the thing, they can do that because that's what they do at Seattle Grace Hospital.
That's what they do.
That was good. It is what
And
they
in
do.
real hospitals, you actually can have sex on call rooms.
That hospital, it is what they do.
That's so gross.
Yeah, wow,
but-
these were interesting. I had a lot of different ideas, but I liked these ones best. Brooks, what do you think based on the Cheers bar argument and the Seattle Grays hospital?
It's hard because we're supposed to judge based off of the question, which is the best date location.
It is, what is the best TV location to take a date to?
I gotta say, Ashley's point on Grey's Anatomy just depends on who's taking the person on the date, which the question didn't specify. Is you taking a girl, you're taking a guy, whose date is it? I think girls would love that date, which kind of means that the guy's gonna love it as well. It's like whatever. The bar's a little hard though, Jared, because after all, it is a bar, but you do get to have a great conversation with someone. So I'm gonna say that. And this is a little bit of my own bias coming in here, maybe, but I just like the fantasy of it all. I'm gonna give it to Ashley and Lauren.
Okay,
Grey's
Team
Anatomy,
Couch,
Seattle.
Billy Biz, it's coming to you.
I mean, if you can get a girl in a hospital, you got some dope moves, dude. I don't know. I think you have to be a doctor to have sex in the on-call room. I don't think you can just waltz right in. So, just for sake of practicality, I'm gonna go with Cheers.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, I give points for the creative. For it sort of just comes down to if they're a fan of Grey's Anatomy, then yes, going to that hospital would be great. If you're not, I think I tend to go where Jared is. That'd be really depressing and weird, and you could just have a nice bar spot. I was looking at a knock against Cheers, and I just didn't hear why the Cheers bar wouldn't be.
It wasn't relevant to today.
Yeah, but still, it's still a bar. The bars are always relevant.
Yeah.
So if it had been dingy or Norm's there and he's really annoying, he'll just talk to you the whole time. If I'd gotten one thing against the bar, that would have helped me probably give her the creative. But I say other than that, because I didn't hear that and I heard it from Jared, I got to give it to Jared.
I think that what this does break down to is if you are a fan of Cheers, then obviously it's extra special going to the Cheers bar. If you're a fan of Seattle Grey's Anatomy, then obviously going to the hospital is extra special. So if you take out both the shows and it's just a bar and just a hospital based on your guys' arguments.
Do you want to hear from Joe Starr? He does say, you can't have sex and then eat in a cafeteria is the best goddamn answer I've ever heard.
Did you say that?
Yes!
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
I mean, I love was your idea?
Oh, that was awesome.
It's pretty epic that the dream date is just going to the cafeteria, eating and having sex in the
Having
on-call
sex
room.
and then eating in the cafeteria.
That sounds like a great date to me, honestly.
I
When you've
think
been
so
together
too.
for like 20 years.
But in general,
that's
what is
awesome.
the better TV location to take a date to when we don't know who? I think that there were stronger arguments
Who
for.
are you giving the rose to? Make this dramatic. The most dramatic point ever, Roxy. This is the final rose.
Do you want to be the
Wait,
host and announce it?
isn't there no final rose? Isn't the final
This
rose
is
a
the final
proposal?
rose.
Isn't it? Do I have to
Kind of
get
your audition.
proposed like with a ring
This
now?
is the final rose.
Will
Who
you
are
be
you
the
accepting
winner?
it to?
Do you give the winner an actual
Yes.
rose and a ring?
And a ring.
Yes.
A rose and a ring.
You give them a rose and a ring? The rose seems so irrelevant.
I know.
Very
I know.
expensive ring.
Yeah,
No,
I
they
know.
don't
I've
pay
seen
for
that.
that
They
ring.
go and
Just
pick it out at
tradition.
them.
They don't pay for it. Neil Lane gives them for free for anyway.
At this point, why don't they just skip the rose altogether? It's
Right.
like, I got you a ring.
I don't get it. Yeah, he had to get a rose.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the biggest quarrel you had, like the biggest problem.
I
with
just
the
had
Bachelor.
never thought about that. I was like,
Me neither.
great point.
Yeah. I like Brooke's point too, though, about girls want to go. So if girls want to go, then guys are going to want to go too, because if the girl's having a good time. But I think that all the great romances that happened there, the Post-it, you said that, and my heart melted. I think in general, a friendly, chill environment. You can't go wrong on any date. One could be more special, but then the other one could work for everybody. So the best TV location, the Cheers bar. Jared, will you accept this?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It was really, that was tough though. Team TMI gave you quite the fight.
I'm glad I just scared him. That's all I wanted to do.
I think you more than scared him.
I was down 3-1. I was like, she's dead. She's gonna beat me. in
It
2.
was really close. I hope that everybody can stay friends after all of this. I don't know what kind of
Now
damage
we
we
can.
I think we might be
They've
stronger
been through
friends.
worse.
Oh, they have?
Yes, they've been
Okay,
through
then
worse.
good. Then they can survive a little.
And I want to
team
say for the
fights.
record, I've been lucky to talk to them now on ScreenJunkies News a couple times. They're delightful people. I'm grateful to all of you for coming and doing this and making my Bachelor dreams come true. Thank you guys.
And Jared
That's
didn't even have to
awesome.
kiss
Yeah.
me.
Jack
Thank
Shipley
you.
said, if you had told me 2 hours ago...
Wait, hold on, Andy. Say it one more time.
Sorry, I was just saying, Jack Shipley said, if you told me 2 hours ago that the Bachelor episode would be one of the best shows I've ever laughed at, I would have laughed in your face. So people have come around and are now all big fans.
And I'm pretty sure Jack was one of the people beforehand tweeting that he hadn't
Yes.
ever watched an
People did
episode.
come,
So
you guys killed it in the speed round.
that's really awesome. Like the girls said, Brooks, thanks so much for joining. You didn't have as much time to prepare.
Yes,
we
thank you
really
for having me.
appreciate it. Are you still on? You still want to battle them again?
Yep.
Yep, he's taking
Yeah,
you
I
guys
do.
on.
Dude,
I think
mean,
we need to do
I
it
gotta
again.
prepare
for sure.
more.
I want to preface this by saying I'm a Screen Junkies fan, so I've seen these things, and you guys still like kicked ass with no prepreration.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like that's a pretty big testament.
Thank you,
It's my-
Jared.
Thank you.
I'm supposed to say the good things about them. I'm just kidding. Brooks, where can everybody keep up with you? Where can they all find you?
I'm on social media, Twitter and Instagram. My name, Brooks Forster.
All right, Jared, congratulations. And as a fan, I know that rose means even more to you over at Screen Junkies than maybe even at The Bachelor or Bachelorette. So
That was the most important rose I've ever received in my entire
How
life.
dare you?
So
Except for every rose Ashley gave me, obviously, of course.
Did you
Can I
keep
just
them?
say, Ashley, I totally
I
get it
tried,
now.
but
He's so,
they died.
I
You
Totally get it.
yeah.
yeah,
Totally
absolutely.
gets it.
Jared, where can everybody keep up with you?
Just Instagram and Twitter at my name.
Okay, Ashley,
Crazy.
Lauren, Team TMI.
We have a podcast called I Don't Get It.
So you can hear more things like we'd like to go to the cafeteria and then the on-call
it's
room.
all
and
about
that's
talking
like-
about Jared as well.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
you
that'd
guys
be
are
a
talking
fun
about things you don't
episode.
get?
we talk about things we don't get,
Awesome.
and that's mostly guys.
I get that.
I don't
Yeah.
get it podcast on iTunes.
Awesome. Andy, thank you so much for joining us as the fact checker on
Thanks,
the
I
couch.
hope I did okay.
You did
Billy,
amazing.
great.
You
I want to
killed
see
it.
them do an episode where they try and have sex and eat in a cafeteria at a hospital.
Oh my god,
Someone should
that
do
would
that.
be
It's amazing.
awesome.
That's the best line I've ever heard in my entire life. That's amazing.
And
Let's see
Billy
if it's
Biz,
true.
I'm so glad to see a smile on your face,
I
even
loved
though you
it.
didn't watch a single episode of
Didn't
the
need
show.
to, Rox. Didn't need to because it was awesome. Twitter at Billy A. Patterson. And this Friday, Flash and Friends, very excited about this. We have David Sobolov, the voice of Gorilla Grodd from this week's and last week's Flash. He'll be in studio with you and Jason and Joe Starr.
He also has a crazy history of voicing so many different characters. I'm really excited to pick his brain. But as Grodd, that's one of the biggest Flash villains of all time. It's really cool that we're getting him in. Andy, where can everybody find you?
At Andy Signor, they know where. On
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah, I bet
Thanks
if
for
they're
giving us
watching
one a
this.
shot, guys. I'm glad we got they got him excited at the end.
What do we do with the extra roses?
Oh, I'm taking them home.
Oh, all right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Bachelor Fights. If you guys want to see another one of these the same way that Brooks has challenged them, let us know. Until next week, Tuesday, 4 p.m. We love you guys.
Thanks for watching. Click here for more Screen Junkies news.